What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, I hope all the girls, and I hope all the MBs are having a fantastic one, because today is a beautiful day. Today is a fantastic day. Today is a wonderful day. That's right. Woo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back on Big Bertha, Big Red, the Linus Tech Tips PC. Part of the reason why is because I want Tarek to be able to use my new PC when he plays CS2 if he wants to do that, or any number of other things. But, folks, today is Monday, April 3rd, 2023, 11:24 a.m. And I am here. I'm live. I'm alive. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful time. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I hope everyone's having a wonderful time. We have a big broadcast here. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, about what's going on in my life in between the times where I start streaming and then stop streaming. In between the times where I stop streaming and then start streaming. That's right. And folks, a lot happened yesterday, and luckily for you, I actually filmed it. That's right. I filmed my day in the life on the one day that I take off. That's right. That's what I did. Ended the broadcast on Saturday on a high note after Tarek scared the shit out of me. Okay. Yeah, I'm on my vlogger arc, dude. It's not a big deal. So you really did take a day off? Technically, I did, but like I didn't. You know what I mean? You'll see. You'll see. My day off is not really a day off because I still did a bunch of different things. I did not go to the Mario premiere. No. I still tried to shoot as much content as possible on the day off. We, of course, obviously still shot the podcast. As you guys know, Fear End episode should be out by now. Not sure if it is. But, yeah. We did a Chuckle Sandwich Fear End collab. Oh, just watched it. It's been out. It's been out for 3 hours. Let's go. Hope you guys appreciated that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. After the pod, which was fun, and you know the bonus content was a lot of fun as well. That was like there was a lot going on there. But after the pod was over, we went to a nice little steak dinner that I paid for. Sakura Gore, thank you for the 50 gifted subs. And, you know, I did a lot yesterday. I went to the VCTs. I co-streamed alongside Tadek, friend of the show, Tadek. I got through a lot. We did Chuckle Sandwich collab with Fear End Podcast. I played basketball not once but twice. Me and Shifter versus Gavin and another TikTok dude. I think that's his name. I think his name is Andy. I balled up with them, and we cooked them. Me and Shifter and I, we cooked them up real good. But yeah. That was great. That was a lot of fun. Dara Cross 616, thank you for the 5 gifted subs as well. Yeah, Gavin Newsom. His name is Andy, and he is a TikTok Andy. TikTok Andy. There are no One Piece updates because Tadek's here. So when I have guests over, when I have people staying with me, it's hard. Murat stayed with me over the weekend, and Tadek has been staying with me as well. So like, I can't just sit there and be like, "Hey, sorry, bro. I know you're here, but like, I'm just gonna go up to my room and like watch some fucking anime." You know what I mean? I did get him started on Attack on Titan though, which was good. We watched the first 2 episodes, pretty fire. Attack on Titan, rewatching it, I mean, it's not that, it's a newer anime anyway, but it fucking is fire from like the first jump. It's crazy. Did you see KSI fuck up? Yeah, I heard. I have so many thoughts on that. Don't worry. So interesting to me. Yeah, it's cool to rewatch Attack on Titan because you get to notice all of the things that you normally wouldn't, like, that you don't recall at all when you're watching. You know what I mean? With like the afterthought, and it makes for almost like a unique, like a new experience. It's pretty cool that way. Yeah, we'll do the NCAA championship races backlash. And that's it. There's a 60 Minutes Marjorie Taylor Greene interview. I know that's going to be fire. Can't wait for that. Obviously, Matt Walsh defended racism. Which is not very surprising. And there's a lot to talk about. HasanAbi PR year going strong. I wanna teach you how forever. What the fuck is this? What is this? Just a nice little thirst post. Thank you. Sorry, I missed it. If you covered it, there's a Sneeko and Charlie convo. Brother, if you think I watched, like, I think it's like a 5-hour convo, isn't it? Like, I'm not watching. I mean, I don't know if I have time, the bandwidth, the wherewithal. I mean, this is crazy. This is like 1 hour and 14 minutes long, brother. And it's number 1 on YouTube trending. It has 7.6 million views. That's crazy. I guess we can take a look at it. Since you like the addition of my King Kong shoot, I'm working on one for the Gaming Prize with all the Scared Hasan content. Nice. It's pretty good. It includes some Charlie commentary in between. Okay. I mean, people are such sluts for drama, so I just don't know how I would go through this unless y'all got like timestamps and you're like, dude, you should watch different parts of it. Like, this part was good, that part was good, something like that. Anyway. But Chinese train video.
When
I rode the world's fastest train. Oh my god, Tom Scott. That's incredible. Anyway, I love when I was like, bro, maybe we can watch it. Just give me the good timestamps. And then everyone in the chat was like, there's an F slur at 59:25. It's like, okay. That's not what I meant when I said give me the timestamps that are like relevant and worthwhile of watching, not where they say the F slur, you know? Like, I don't care. Well, yeah, I digress. It's been a moment, and usually when I take a day off and then I come back and I want to. Yeah, when I take a day off and I come back and wait, what the fuck is this? Oh, it is my profile. Okay. That was weird. There's like a Doge on the top of Twitter. And it's weird, like, I was like, who's fucking, is this my Twitter? Like, what the fuck am I looking at? I guess they like did a little Elon doing a joke. Nice. Oh my God. I love Epic Chungus memes, dude. Is this a late April Fool's? Oh my God. Elon is such an epic meme guy. That is beyond cancerous when you take a day off. Yeah, I know. I take one fucking day off and like the entirety of chat is like just unimaginably difficult to parse through because everyone's like, dude, we didn't get to talk to you yesterday, so I waited for 24 hours. Like, I'm gonna tell you exactly right now everything that you need to cover and you missed. Anyway, but yeah, let's just get started. Is your camera higher FPS or am I tripping? It is. It's way more crisp because I'm using a different process. I'm using different hardware to connect to the same camera, and it's infinitely more clear this way. A day without Hasan?
Getting out of hand.
Oh, I saw this fucking TikTok, bro. This shit I saw this shit on Twitter. It's so bad. Anyway, here, hold on. Newsday. Slam Monday Newsday. Trump. Indictment. Reactions. Mount Walsh defends slavery. NCAA controversy. John Cena celebration. There's going to be some sports today. Okay. Marge MTG on 60 Minutes. There's a lot to talk about. Okay. Have you seen the lie detector guy's a fraud video? What is the lie detector guy?
John Grogan.
The dark truth behind the lie detector guy? I don't know who that is. I don't know what the dark lie detector guy is. You partially inspire me by never shutting the fuck up about working out. I got an under the desk treadmill Wednesday to start my long journey back to finish after 5 years of desk work. Wish me luck. Managed 2.2 miles on Sunday. Congratulations. Speaking of which, I played basketball twice yesterday. And because I had, so much fucking meat and like awful food since Tadek's been here, but like not awful, it's actually delicious food. But because I had so much delicious food that is not great for me because I have too much of it, and then I'm like overeating and I'm not, I'm not hitting my macros or my calories that I'm trying to hit at a deficit. I still gained weight this weekend. Not only 1.8 pounds, not that bad, but goddamn, cuties, cookies, pizza. Just like I've been trying to be good, but it's getting hard out here, especially when I got people over. But yeah, I'm blasting off. Let's get started. Here, let the people know. Let your friends know. Don't let your enemies know, obviously. Cutie's cookies are so good. She's so fucking good at cookie making. 5,000 plus calorie surplus? I don't think so, but maybe. Yeah, I mean, 1 pound is not that big of a deal. But you know, ultimately it's all good. Still in a very good place. You didn't censor the pizza at the end. It doesn't matter. I don't really give a shit about censoring that place. I rewatched the episode of you and Bryce on TMG and you're looking so much skinnier. Congrats, bro. Thanks. Did you guys actually watch the VCTs with Todek when he was doing the reacts to the VCTs? Because going into Riot was very cool. I actually enjoyed it. Like, you know, Riot, I went into Riot facilities. And, you know, it was a lot of fun. And I got to watch the VCTs, which was very cool, you know. I hope I didn't say anything fucking stupid because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm always worried about that shit. Whenever I do stuff like that, I'm always worried that like I'm gonna say something dumb and then people are gonna be like, why the fuck is this guy on? You know what I mean? I always am like trying to ask good questions, but worried that like everyone is gonna know the answer to that question, and it's not like the type of question that someone would ask. You know what I mean? Toast tried to talk you into politics. Yeah, I know. He's fucking mischievous, that one. Did you order a brimstone smoked sauce from the Rock Cafe? No, I left. I left because there was a housewarming party that I attended. T-minus 45 minutes till landing. Trump jet is currently on top of Richmond. And flying to New York. I guess he's coming in and letting himself, just giving himself to the fucking authorities, dude. Giving himself up to the authorities. It doesn't seem like Donald Trump is going to put up a fight on this, like the way that Ron DeSantis was trying to make it seem like he was going to. Yeah, the consequences of Andrew Tate on students have been unprecedented. Dude, this video hurt me physically. Insane tweet alert. The pilot has a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the funniest thing of all time. Oh. What does he mean by this? What does he mean by this? What does he mean by this? What are we not are we covering this? Oh, cuz Dylan, what's her face? The trans lady who like all the conservatives hate. She's like a Bud Light sponsor or something. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, is Bud Heavy okay? I mean, I used to drink Bud Heavies all the time. AOC a fellow Zaza demon. Yo, people are so fucking stupid. Like, the fact that people genuinely think AOC's burner is called Zaza Demon with the @Zaza Smoka because this account fucking replied to someone in and said I, and then like that fucking like Jimmy Dore guy is like, oh dude, this is real, this is definitely AOC. Yeah, Charlie is the most centrist ever. Oh, with his conversation with Sneeko. It'd be pretty funny if this was her burner. Like, I'll be honest with you. I think it would be infinitely funnier because that person follows me, the Zaza Smoka. That person follows me, and I look through their tweets immediately as soon as I found out about this shit. And like the tweets are awesome. Like, I wish that was her fucking burner account. Ian Miles Chungus needs to stop pretending he's in the USA and not being paid by a Thiel-type backer in his Kuala Lumpur apartment. Go enjoy life, bro. Yeah, well, he wouldn't get paid in his Kuala Lumpur apartment if he... Yeah, I know this is how it started. I know how it started. I watched it. I watched it happen in front of me, in front of my eyes. In before Megaphonics. Breaking: Elon Musk facing a $258 billion racketeering lawsuit for his role in running a pyramid scheme to defraud investors with Dogecoin and unregistered security. Nico House literally did the anti-Antifa documentary with the Nazis. Yeah, I don't... Those guys are fucking unhinged. They're like... They're on the... We're actually leftist. We're the real leftists, but like we're also kind of right-wing brigade. You know what I mean? I know. God, every time I talk about them, they cut content for 7 fucking months too, but whatever. Anyway... yeah. So I guess we can start out with the Andrew Tate video and then get into Zaza Smoker saga, and then we'll move on. Okay. First of all, I gotta show you this fucking video. Trigger warning. This is yet another Andrew Tate fan in the wild. I'm just gonna let you know it's gonna hurt your soul. This is what all of those, like, you know, Aiden Ross owns you little bro accounts. Like, these are the guys who run those accounts. This is what they look like. This is what they sound like. Anytime you fucking talk to one of those guys on the internet, you're getting owned. Let's be real. I think this is fake. Okay, I'll just say it. I think this is fake. Like, there's no way on the planet where I believe that a person can be like this. Okay, but let's take a look.
Getting out of hands these days.
I've had enough of this. This punishment stuff is going to stop.
You're not gonna tell me what I'm gonna do and not do?
I am now the alpha.
Bro. That's not how this works. I am the teacher.
The alpha takes priority over the teacher.
Okay.
The alpha takes priority over everything. Do you not know how that works?
The teacher is telling the alpha to sit in this seat right now.
And the alpha doesn't have to listen to orders from its lower.
Well, you don't have to listen, but the consequences that follow are going to still apply to the alpha.
The alpha doesn't take punishment.
Let's see how well that works out for you, okay?
Getting out of hands these days.
I've had enough of this.
What is this? I just don't know. I don't. It's just like too good. I'm sorry, bro, but this is very possibly real. Kids in my high school were silly billies. I mean, I think there's a little bit of silliness going on there for sure. A little bit of billiness too. This person seems a little bit A-worded. Maybe it's a bit fucked up to make fun of them. I mean, dude, like 75% of this community is autistic. And I'm pretty sure you're not popping off like this at your fucking teacher, okay? We're not making fun of him for having autism. We're making fun of him for being alpha, an alpha dog, okay? Just like, I don't understand how half a chat is like, you know what I mean? Like, any other place, it makes sense for you to be like, well, maybe we should be a little bit more careful. Like, this person might have autism or something. Like, this person is probably a little neurodivergent, like, whatever, right? But, like, this is a community full of neurodivergent people, and none of you guys are fucking popping off like that. Oh, he meant A-worded like or A-coded as in alpha-coded. Yeah. A-word is if autistic is a slur of some kind. Yeah, this is the joke that... You got it. You got the joke. You're describing the joke. Anyway, it is a spectrum, but if you think this is fake, you have not met real weirdos in school, bro. You remember, I only went to college in America, and I went to college fucking 10 years ago. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I never went to high school in America, and I only went to college in America, and, you know, my experiences were I never met a dude like this ever. So, like, I can see it. Everyone has a public school, but he's not weird. He's mentally challenged. I mean, his mental challenges don't stop him from tweeting with like his 700 burners. Okay, like your speculation is that he has some mental health complications or some kind of disorder or something, which is a valid assessment in this circumstance. But remember, it's not about what is going on in his. It's not about what kind of like disorder or anything he has. It's more so about the fact that he's an alpha dog. The A word here is not autism, it's alpha dog. Does that make sense? This is going to be a parent. This got to be a parenting fail since there's no way a kid with good parents is insisting they're the alpha of a teacher in front of a school. I'm not really focused on who the student is personally. I posted the 144p version of it for a reason. Also, y'all don't take my word for it. It's a huge issue for many teachers and parents. It's true. Like a lot of teachers and a lot of parents spoke out so aggressively about like the impact that this man had that like he got banned from all platforms. Like that's when you knew. When I saw conservative white moms ringing the fucking alarm bells about Andrew Tate, I was like, oh, it's over. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's done. When you got even conservative wine moms talking about how, like, this guy's a problem, it's done. It's done because they don't want to see their sons talk back to them, like, in a way where, you know, they're like, shut up, mom. You're a bitch. Stay in the kitchen, mom. You know what I mean? Like what that happens to like a Connecticut mom. You know what I mean? That happens to a Connecticut mom. That happens to multiple Connecticut moms. It's over. It's done. Some of those moms are executives at fucking Facebook. Okay. Some of those moms are going to be married maybe to an executive at TikTok. Or are the executives at TikTok. They're going to be the marketing managers. They're going to be married to marketing managers. Do you see what I'm saying? When you do that, when you reach critical mass and you become the face of misogyny like that, they're going to be like, oh, dude, it's over. Our sons are running around. Why is my 11-year-old speaking with like a broken Luton accent and keeps calling women females and bitches? Like, they're, you know. He keeps wanting to take the credit card and buy a Bugatti. It's not happening any longer. I can't stop laughing at the pharmacopoeia of air fresheners on his desk. Yeah, that part is wild. Why does he have so many air fresheners? Anyway. Kids are stinky. What do you mean? Dude, I don't fucking know. So yeah, that was a brief moment here. We'll do the KSI saga in a second. Or I guess we can start out with the KSI drama real quick. I got a lot of thoughts on this. KSI in the latest Sidemen video apparently said the P word, which is a slur in England. It's a slur in general, but like Americans don't know about it across the board. For those of you who don't know, no, it is it's a shortened version of Pakistani, but it is used as a slur. Okay? In England, the shortened version of Pakistani is a slur. And it's actually a very common slur, for the record. Like, literally, every brown person has been called it. It's like the N-word for brown people in England. And I guess, like, Commonwealth areas as well, maybe. Yeah, it's Pakistani minus the Stani, exactly. So, I have even said that. I've talked about it before when how shocked I was to find out that it's like considered a slur. But KSI and the Sidemen are in England, so they do know better, right? It's a hyper specific, very British slur, but like it's hard to describe. For example, I was working out this morning with an English kid who lives in America. He's of Indian descent. And he immediately knew what we were talking about. No one else understood it because everyone else was American, but he was like, oh yeah. Like, I don't know how to describe the power of it, but other than just saying that it is basically the N-word for every brown person. So, people in Pakistan don't even know the meaning, Lamau. Yeah, this is a specific British or European slur, okay? As a West Brit, if you aren't white, that's what they call you, yeah. Apparently, I'll explain it like this. The P word is a slur for brown people in countries where they call Indian and Pakistani people Asian, okay? The colonies, the Commonwealth. Because, like, in America, we don't do that. That's why you never even, like, you don't even understand. If you're from a country where you do not classify, which, by the way, is not an incorrect classification, for the record. But if you're from a country where you do not classify Indian people or Pakistani people as Asian, you probably did not know that this was a slur, but it is. Okay. So, most people say South Asian? Sure. Bro, in Pakistan and India, it's normal as fuck. We use it in my family too. Yes. I would go so far as to even say in the United States of America, most people don't know and might have thought that it was like a shorthand slang and not like a considered a slur. Okay? Anyway, what do you mean America considers India and Pakistan and Asia? Yes, but usually Americans do not colloquially classify people from Pakistan and people from India as Asian or South Asian designation. They will just say Indian as though it's like almost a separate race. This is a fascinating phenomena. None of what I'm saying is like objectively. None of what I'm saying is like the correct terminology. I'm simply describing to you the way that these words or these terms are colloquially used in different countries. Okay? Now, the reason why I mention all of this is because I have a pretty big American fan base, so they would not even understand it. Does that make sense? That's why I qualified it like 11 times before we got fully into the story, because it's like, it's not something that they will understand. Okay? It is, in fact, a shorthand slang in South Asia and is very commonly used in Hindi, Urdu. Very common to hear the P word in cricket player, not meant to be malicious. Lol, you might be the only person that has to speak so specifically. I don't mind explaining things with specificity because this is my job. If I was just simply going through it and I was just like looking at the story, I would just be like, oh, well, I don't know. But I want people to understand. Because if I just dove right into it, people would have looked at it and gone, what? What's wrong with that? So I'm taking the initiative. People are still going to say that regardless.
Look,
so here's the clip from the Sideman video.
we need points in it, all right? I don't mean this maliciously, but the word. Sorry, I'm sorry. Look, we need points. I don't. Guys, come on.
Nah, KSI, you're not funny, man. You can't say the P word in any context. These lot will do anything for content. So here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. Bro, why did you keep that? Why did you keep that in the drafts? This isn't a live stream. This is what I don't get. It's not a live stream. You know people are going to yell at you. Like, you have the opportunity to cut it out. Like, what the fuck? Like, ultimately, I think, like, do I know anything about KSI? Do I think that it's like, it's something that he says all the time, or like he hates brown people or some shit like that? No, I don't think so. Not from what I've seen from him. It seems like he's not. He's like he's edgy, but not like so far out there like super racist. It more so almost feels like he just utilizes it as an opportunity. He like deployed it as a way to get a fucking boost. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it, though. It's like one of those things where it's literally not worth it. Yeah, Tummer also pointed this out, which is smart, which is that what people should be thinking about is how that video got through filming and editing, presumably with multiple people seeing it to be published. Probably should have stopped to think what saying a racial slur and having all your mates laugh would look like. Like, that's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand. Because, again, if they were all American and they said this, it wouldn't even be in the same context, because people would be like, what's wrong? Why are people yelling at us? You know what I mean? Because like, it's not the same for sure. It's not like a commonly known slur in America, right? So for Americans, you're not going to get it. You're not going to understand it. In Indian and Pakistani communities, it is used as slang and not in a malicious context, but in the UK, it has a history of being used as a derogatory term. Exactly. So either nobody cared or they said it, and it's fine leaving it on purpose, in my opinion. Big Star sitting right there too. Yeah. I think KSI is definitely racist, and you are looking like a fool for defending him. I am not defending KSI. I don't care. I don't know KSI. I don't even understand why he said it or why he left it in the fucking video. I'm actually saying that, like, this is an unacceptable thing, which he also recognizes. But if you recognize that now, why didn't you just like take it out? So I've already moved beyond the very obvious aspect of this that's like unacceptable, because it is kind of akin to like one of the white dudes in the Sidemen basically popping off with the N-word or something, right? Why did they delete the whole video and not just cut it out? Why didn't they just not publish that part? This is what I don't understand. Like, this isn't a live stream. How does this happen? This is what I don't get. Because, like, on a live stream, sometimes people fucking say something that gets misconstrued. Or sometimes people pop off. Like, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And you fucking pop right off, right? And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month, right? You can use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. You can also get gifted a sub. Evilaz905, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Sakura Gore, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Egrolf, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, allowing 25 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Like, I don't understand why both of these dudes are like, they just have this weird thing. I mean, Logan Paul more so than KSI, because I gave props to KSI literally last week before this shit popped off. Extra Summons, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, where like, you have so much going. Like, it is so incredibly easy to just not, like, get into controversy like this. Why doesn't KSI take it out? He doesn't edit the Sidemen video, someone else does? Bro, are you stupid? You're talking to someone who has appeared on other people's YouTube videos, who has YouTube videos that he cuts. Like, if I said something that could even be misconstrued, like, for example, sometimes if I'm covering something breaking, if I misspeak, right, I will tell my editors, let's take that part out. I will make mention. I will make a mental note of it. Okay? Kenji999, thank you for the 5. Get the subs as well. It's just like super. I know it sounds cliche almost to say, where it's like it takes $0 not to say a slur, but like it kind of does. It kind of does take $0 or 0 fucking quid, yeah, 0 quid to not say a fucking slur. You know what I mean? Quid, bruv. What is it? I'm black, and I'm assuming this has the same energy as referring to black people as don't say it. Not as strong as the N-word, but it's getting there. No, are you black in England, or are you black in America? Because that will genuinely change the context. Because I think a lot of no, it's not like that. No, it's not. It's definitely as far as I understand, because I had this conversation in this community because I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. You're in the US, so you don't get it. I didn't know either. When I first talked about this word, I had no fucking clue it was like that. I'm sure someone will someone will find a clip. Like Little Bear will probably find a clip of the first time we talked about it, because I was like, what the fuck? And people got very mad at me originally. I think I might have like read it in the chat or I don't know what it was. I honestly think they kept it in just because KSI is black and they thought that would be okay. Like, the thought is fine if a minority says a minority slave is very odd but very British. The P word. Like I've talked about it before. It was literally like a learning experience for me and this community back then when we first learned about it, because it's not like a thing in America at all. Look at the analogy I gave for US viewers. Let's take a look. In India and Pakistan, we use it as a shorthand. In Britain, it's used as in dirty P words. In Britain, it's used as dirty P words or criminals and rapists, just like immigrants in the USA. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it has like it is a similar connotation to the N word. Anyway. I'm black English. It's like the C word for Asians, but maybe a bit stronger. It was openly used by Pakistanis a lot more than the N word was used for black kids in school. Yeah, it's almost seen as like a more appropriate slur to say. It's obviously inappropriate, but like I think a lot of people consider it to be. I think a lot of people like feel less afraid of like blasting it out there than they would of like saying the N word. You know what I mean? What's the C word? For Chinese people. Shorten that and you will understand. Not cracker. I just thought it was short for Pakistani the longest time. Yeah, Americans don't really know that it is a slur, like straight up. I'm sure if you're British, this is like hard to imagine, especially if you're brown and you've like heard it. If you've had it deployed against you, like weaponized against you, it's like very hard to recognize that it is like completely, like Americans are completely oblivious to it, which is why I talked about it a lot. The P word, the Pakistani racial slur, a common misconception is that it's shortened version of Pakistani, similar to the word Scot for Scottish people. The P word is a deeper and darker meaning. Violent attacks from the 1960s to the 1990s against South Asians were also known as P word bashing. The attackers were supporters of the far-right fascist, racist, and anti-immigration movements, e.g. BNP and the National Front. For those of you who don't know, it's like the fucking EDL, right? EDL, like the English Defence League, right? Fucking hell, we're talking defending England, right? We're talking Islamic ray guns, all right? Fucking hell. Supported by the British media's anti-immigrant and anti-Pakistani rhetoric and by systemic failures of British authorities. These attackers were formerly known as P-word bashers and skinheads. During 1955 alone, there were around 20,000 racist attacks on British POC, mainly P-word bashing. Talking about going to the P-word shops or calling others dirty P-word is a reminder of the suffering our parents and grandparents had to endure, the suffering that we still endure. It's part of a little British culture, right? Fucking hell. We're just having a bit of banter, lads. Doing a little bit of British culture here, innit? Anyway. The White House had to apologize? Wait, what? That's awesome. I had no idea. See, there is literally no better demonstration that Americans don't know about this than this. President George Bush's fractured command of international nuance landed him in yet more trouble yesterday as Pakistanis protested over his casual use of the abbreviation P word, which is widely regarded as an offensive epithet. There you go. There is no better demonstration that like Americans don't know what like the slur connotations than this. It's also the funniest story because like George W. Bush is a horrible monster, and it's like unsurprising. For Japanese people, is very close to it. I feel like this is not commonly deployed though. So I don't know. I feel like that's like I don't think this is something that people say any longer. You know what I mean? It's like Gran Torino shit. So I don't know if you could, like, it's definitely something you hear from your fucking grandparents or Clint Eastwood or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, like, it's vintage racism. You know what I mean? Military dumbfucks love saying it still, even if they were born in 2002. Yeah. Whereas, like, nowadays it's not so commonly deployed, so it's weird. Whereas, like, the P word is commonly deployed in England still, I think. Anyway. In Massachusetts, it's an old saying, going on a P word run, because liquor stores used to be called package stores, but no one really uses it anymore. Yeah. This is like when I found out your last name is a slur. Yes. Piker, if it's considered pikey, is a slur because it's like it's a form of Irish travelers from famously from Snatch, Brad Pitt's character. Okay. What does piker mean in Turkish, though? It has no meaning. My grandfather chose it. Okay. So, yeah, he said that. Here you go. And then, yeah, again, this is what's, like, so confusing to me. Is not necessarily that he said it. Because, like, him saying it is weird, right? Especially as a British person. It's, like, very odd that he thought that it wouldn't be, like, that big of a deal to just fucking deploy it. There's literally a brown dude in the Sidemen, Vic Star, right? So that's also like odd. Like he's just saying it right in front of him. So that part is odd as well. And you know, they're like homies. So, but like there are so many moments where they could have just, you know, avoided this controversy entirely by just not uploading it. You know what I mean? Like cutting that part out. And I don't know. By the way, we don't say brown people in the UK. Yeah, but I'm not in the fucking UK, am I? I'm not in the fucking UK, innit? Right? We're in fucking America. That's right. I say fucking brown people, right? I'm not fucking British. I know. I sound very British sometimes, so it's understandable that you're confused, my friend. But I am not British. Anyway. It's Monday, innit? Yes, it is. It does not make sense. Why not? Why is saying colored people bad but not people of color? Because it's just super out of touch. Language evolves always, right? language always evolves. And now when you say colored people, you sound like you're a fucking racist from like 1965. It's the difference between blacks and black people. You know what I mean? Even people of color is like, depending on the context, can come across like a little out of touch. Yeah, identity first versus like person first language, I guess, is the proper term for it. Vic is Indian though, not Pakistani. Oh yeah, totally. Famously, Indian people are never called the P word in England. Cause when when British people, like British racists, deploy a slur, they will always go, "Where are you from, lad? Are you from Pakistan? Are you from India? Let me know so I can use the proper fucking racist term against you." Is that what you think is going on? What are you, fucking stupid? The first person in the immediate aftermath of 9/11 that was murdered in a hate crime, in an anti-Muslim hate crime, was not a Muslim man. He was a Sikh man, okay? In Texas. Yeah. A lot of people like to say Islamophobia is not racialized, but of course it is. Of course it's racialized. It's just like any and every person that's like a little bit remotely brown. Okay, that's it. Your coverage of this slur was much more appropriate and considerate this time, and I much appreciate that. Yeah, because when I first learned about it, I didn't even know it was a slur. Because as well-traveled as I am, like, I am still, you know, an American idiot in many respects. Or a Turkish idiot in many respects. So when I first found out that it was like a slur, I didn't even fucking know that it was. It was like shocking to me. You know what I mean? Trump is landing right now.
In the night, emblazoned with his name in gold there in downtown Manhattan. Also, you can see kind of from the concourse.
We'll talk about Trump's landing in a second. Let me just finish off this KSI thing. The Sidemen said, during yesterday's Sidemen Sunday, a racial slur was said during the video. We accept that it was completely unacceptable and inexcusable. The fact that the incident made light of on the show was wrong and compounded the hurt. We deeply regret this and would like to truly apologize. We've reflected on this incident both collectively and individually and are truly ashamed that we let ourselves and you guys down in this way. Want to use our channels to promote positivity and great entertainment. We stand against racism and discrimination of any kind, and we failed to do that. Again, we are truly sorry and promise to do better. But yeah, contextually, I don't know why they were doing that. I don't know why they were doing the slur thing. Such a classic farce. Yeah, this is like an old YouTube classic too. I want to apologize for saying a racial slur in a recent Sidemen video. No excuse, no matter the circumstances. I shouldn't have said it, and I'm sorry. I've always said to my audience that they shouldn't worship me or put me on a pedestal because I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna mess up in life, and lately I've been messing up a lot. So I've decided I'm going to just take a break from social media for a while. Yeah, that's what KSI's take was. And the thing that I don't understand about any of this is, like, again, Prime is popping off. The Sidemen make great content overall across the board. It makes no sense. Like, it just makes no sense to just, like, deploy that and not stop it before it goes out. I don't get it. What is this? The most commonly used slur against Indians in the U.S. is either wait, what? Really? I've never, bro. That is some fucking next level racism. When I find out, about a new slur, I'm like, damn, I didn't even fucking know people were saying that. More in Silicon Valley because they know Indians better, I guess. Or sand N-word, confusing us for Middle Eastern homies. American racists are too dumb to get the racism right. Well, the thing is, racists oftentimes are very indiscriminate with their racism. This is a fun little phenomena that I love to talk about, where they don't know exactly what kind of race you are to do the racism. They just know what you're not, and what you're not is white, right? So in that circumstance, it's kind of just like, whatever. I'm just gonna deploy whatever slur I can here, that kind of thing. So, but the point I was trying to make here is that, like, the point I was trying to make here is that, you got so much going on. Is roach a slur considered towards Turkish people? Not really. Like, it's just because it doesn't have, like, common usage outside of, like, the sweatiest, nerdiest, weirdest fucking 4chan circles. So it's not like you usually, I mean, you don't really hear about it in the real world. Like, I've never, you know what I mean? It's just like, that's more so like an internet forum type thing. Like, if you know to call like a Turkish person a roach, you're probably like in Balkan forums or on fucking 4chan. Like, you don't usually spend a lot of time outside in the real world anyway. I've never encountered it. You know what I mean? That'd be real odd. Wait, are there no slurs for Turkish people? The Greeks fell off, to be honest. I don't know. I guess you'd have to go to Germany. No one calls Turks roaches in the Balkans, Lamau? No, of course not. I'm saying Balkan posting, like you're in Balkan for you, the forums and shit. Does that make sense? Me and my friends are from EU, and we always called Turks roaches, and we never used Reddit, etc., so I don't know about that. I like how comfortable this guy is to be like, I'm actually like, no, like, you don't get it. I am racist. Like, like, I'm over here being like, no, it's not really something that people use in the real world. And this guy's like, no, you don't understand. Like, I do actually use it as a racist pejorative. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assume that given the fact that you're on Twitch, you're probably a little bit more online than the normal person. You know what I mean? No. You said it wasn't a slur. No, I mean, it's only utilized by people like that are like, oh, it's a slur. So if you're asking me if it's a real thing, no. Not in the real world. It's just like extremely online people. Kanake is something like the N-word for Turks in Germany. What does that even mean? What is Kana? Is that how you say it? I don't fucking know. Yes, is used in a similar way. No, calling someone a roach is honestly, fortunate users wish they could be as racist as people from the Balkans. Yeah, they LARP as people from the Balkans when they're like literally from Iowa. You know what I mean? I've never heard anyone use it unironically outside of 4chan, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. It's just like, it's one of those words where, like, if you use it in any context, like, you basically immediately give the game away that you're an extremely online sweaty loser, you know? Anyway, so whereas like the P word in England is like very commonly deployed by like racists in the world, racists out and about, you know what I mean, towards every brown person.
And finally, no, you can't say the word Paki. It's not just shorthand for the word Pakistani. If you don't like that, do me a favor, build a time machine, go back a few decades, and stop the racist thugs from screaming that word at Sanjay whilst they kicked his little head in. And finally,
like, yes, you are racist, but also a chronically online loser. Yeah, exactly. Which is worse than like a racist that touches grass in some ways. You know what I mean? Like, you're a racist that doesn't even touch grass. Kanake is an actual slur, but I've never met a Turk who felt actually insulted by it. Usually they're only offended by the intention behind it. I've never heard it before. A juicer just called you a roach in my messages. Well, I mean, again, they're juicers. They spend all their time on the internet. Most of you guys spend all your time on the internet too, but at least you're not like racist, I guess. So that's good for the most part. I've seen a lot of people in Excuse Chat use the cockroach emote when you're on stream. Yes, bro, because they're fucking 14-year-olds, or even sadder than that. They're like actually older adults that watch XQC and fucking, I don't know, they spend a lot of time in these forums. That's it. And they think that it's like edgy. I don't really care, to be honest.
Former President Trump wheels down in LaGuardia right now as they await to take the motorcade to Trump Tower.
The eagle is landed. You call for a ban? Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about that. That's dumb as fuck. Yeah, I love when Felix is like, yeah, I'm not snitching, and then proceeds to snitch, which is like not even a snitch, but worse than that, because he's like literally calling for a ban. He's just fucking bored. He wants to drama bait. He's gonna get some good Reddit points. That'll go to Dixerto. They'll go to Twitter. People will fucking cry about it. And it also corresponds to like a little bit of a kick defense. You know what I mean? It's great. Calling for a ban on who? Both he and I and many other people watched a car chase, and I was not as quick as he was to click away. I mean, I clicked away as well. But a dude jumped out of the car during the car chase. He later died. Like not there, and there wasn't any there wasn't any blood or anything like that.
As you can see,
he didn't die on the stream, but it doesn't matter. He later died because he jumped out of a fucking car, and he's like trying to get brownie points for, I guess. He's trying to get brownie points for what, like not showing that part, I guess. And it wasn't even, it happened like days ago. Like they tried to push that on LSF as like momentum. They were like, dude, we got to get Hasan banned for this. And then it didn't happen. So then they got mad. So then XQC turned around and revitalized it for no fucking reason. It's something that like content creators know not to bring up unless they're, again, bored, want attention, want to farm drama, want to get brownie points for some of the worst fucking weirdos on the internet, and that's what he's doing. You know, XQ Karen. Whatever.
What he might say during this, and it also depends on a potential gag order put in place by a judge.
I'm the fake friend, though.
The door swinging open from Trump's plane on the tarmac. Of course, no jetway here, as we did see President Trump, former President Trump, wave to some of his supporters as he was getting on this plane initially in Palm Beach, Florida. We're going to stick with this shot here on Live Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack, as this unprecedented moment as he arrives there in New York City. Security will be heightened around Trump Tower and also the district attorney's office in Manhattan in downtown New York City, as this former President Trump expected to be arraigned and booked on Tuesday. Fingerprints, the mugshot, and the whole work likely to be happening. You can see several people stepping off the plane, including former President Trump. Soon enough, you can see just some essentially his sons stepping off the plane, as well as we saw Eric Trump tweeting from the plane, watching the people.
Our big beautiful boy is coming.
They were coming from Florida to New York City. I'm not sure if any of those people were former President Trump as of yet. As other
Win 69 show the whole thing. Why is he fixed on you? Dude, because I'm a villain on the internet for all the fucking sweatiest losers. And if you want to come across like an apolitical person, the easiest thing you can do is just shit on me. That's it. It's the lowest common denominator bullshit. And you're basically fucking you're cultivating an audience of some of the worst fucking losers on the planet. Everybody knows it. Everybody does it on purpose. They do it cynically. It's a cynical deployment, okay? You're doing it because you want to farm some of the fucking people that hate me. Doesn't matter. Also, again, it's always nuance. Staying on it. It wasn't just about the car. He was also bringing up the you and Rage Watch Gideon on stream, so it was definitely targeting you specifically. Like, this shit is, it's very, very stupid overall, because like any content creator that says, I'm not trying to get someone banned over this, is lying. They are. They literally are doing that. Okay? They're doing that. They're bringing it up so that it goes on LSF, so they can fucking get some momentum going, even if they don't get like someone banned. It's just like, it's stupid. If you take the necessary precautions when you're live streaming, and you sometimes accidentally still show something, but as long as it's not like in the range of like complete fucking unacceptable, you're like you're over the top, basically showing something deliberately and purposefully. Like, yes, Twitch is going to be more forgiving. Context is important. Nuance is important. That's it. Yeah, I switched scenes immediately. You know, a little bit of a boomer delay, obviously, but that's it.
During potential protest that he is not a playground for misplaced.
Dude, done.
More people stepping off the plane.
Like, look, this guy, like, for example, this guy is not in it because he's like legitimately upset about anything. He's in it because he wants a person that he doesn't like to be banned off the platform. That's it. You know what I mean? And now that I banned him, he's going to go clip something, put it on fucking LSF, try to farm drama over and over again. Yeah, he died later due to injuries. But again, that's basically, it's just resentment. It's not about what happened.
There's plenty of security around that. Still, authorities warned that possessing a weapon in certain areas is a crime, including at a courthouse or a federal building. Trump Tower was open on Monday, but authorities plan.
Because you watch band streamers all the time, he's a hypocrite. Yes, but no, you don't understand.
Trump supporters, including one of his
the people that are on Reddit like him, so he's not hypocritical. That's how it works.
Georgia has planned a rally in New York late on Tuesday morning. Probably
hypocrisy is only something you can deploy to people you don't like, that don't pass your own personal vibe checks. Hypocrisy is not something you talk about with your own favorite content creator.
Expected media circus after initially being caught off guard by the news of the indictment when it broke on Thursday evening. Trump and his team are focused on using what they call a weak case against Trump to his advantage as we continue to wait for the former president to step off his private plane that just took the journey from Mar-a-Lago to New York City.
30+ charges is not weak. It depends on what the charges are, and we still don't know. After the arraignment, we will find out what actually happened. We don't know yet. I mainly just love that this is what people try to get you on when you do active war zone coverage and such and go above and beyond to make sure you don't show the shit even when the media's trying to do trauma porn. Yeah, exactly. I'm very careful. I'm very careful about like what I show usually, and sometimes given the content, given the nature of the content that I cover, every now and then there is going to be something that will be a little little outside of the boundaries of the terms of service, and I try to do everything I can to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? But it will sometimes. It's the news, and most of the time I'm looking at other news broadcasters in general, so they show way more than I am comfortable showing. It is what it is.
As we continue to watch this frame here on Live Now from Fox, let's get over to our Fox 5 team in New York as they continue to cover this moment of.
I hear that everyone is so bad faith towards you. It makes you sad. It is what it is, man.
At LaGuardia, let's listen into their coverage here on Live Now.
There and. Here it's the same kind of media frenzy that you see once you're getting off the plane. You can see some people already coming off of the plane there. Trump traveling with, a few dozen aides, as well as Eric Trump, his son, too. And so any moment now we will be seeing the Trump emerge and see his demeanor and see how he addresses kind of like what's going on the tarmac there before getting into the car. And again, the plan is to have him stay at Trump Tower for the night. On Tuesday, tomorrow, he will likely surrender to authorities for booking and then a likely afternoon arraignment, and at which point we will finally learn all of the charges in the indictment. They'll finally be aired, finally be unsealed, and we'll see that perp walk down the hall into the courtroom. Again, history in the making that you're watching right now. A former commander-in-chief been indicted, facing arraignment, will face a judge. We will learn about those criminal charges that he faces. A lot of first here, including this moment that we're witnessing at this time. And over, hush money payments to, adult film actress Stormy Daniels, a person who it seems he's been connected to throughout his campaign since 2016, leading before. And so that's what the case surrounds, and then we'll further learn the exact charges, whether it's falsifying the records with Trump Organization and beyond.
Right. Yeah. No. It's interesting. This does date back 7 years at this point. It's certainly one of the big questions hanging out there. After his arraignment, will the judge issue a gag order? If so, how would that impact the statements he's expected to make tomorrow night when he's back home at Mar-a-Lago? What would be the repercussions if he breaks or violates the gag order? Certainly, there are some people on his own team who are trying to walk back a lot of what he's already said until this point, calling the judge out by name, saying the judge hates him, calling out the DA, Alvin Bragg. This weekend, on one of the cable shows, Cy Vance Jr., who was Alvin Bragg's predecessor as DA in Manhattan, raised concern about Trump's attacks on Bragg and the judge thus far, saying that in and of itself raises the specter of potentially leveling additional criminal charges against him. Even Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, sort of trying to walk back some of that rhetoric that he has been firing off on social media and elsewhere since news of this arraignment broke. And another interesting point, we first went on Indictment Watch because of a post from Trump on his own social media account. That he would be arrested. Right. And he said a leak, which may or may not have been truthful. And then last week, when the news actually came down, we heard his team was surprised by it, and it took everyone off guard. So, it's always interesting exactly where the truth lies when you're dealing with the former president, certainly. And as we can see, the luggage continues to come off the plane right now. Trump's personal plane, LaGuardia Airport, Queens.
Where's the suit? I mean, the arraignment is tomorrow, I think.
New York City.
Yeah, very historic.
It'd be fucked up if he did the arraignment a day before. I think he's just coming to New York.
Off the plane here, his demeanor, his attitude.
Oh!
And
there he is.
As you
Our
can
big,
see,
beautiful
President
boy.
Trump getting off the plane.
That
live
crimer.
in
He's a
New
criminal.
York City at LaGuardia Airport. Of course, traveling from Mar-a-Lago to New York City as they were wheels down earlier here on Live Now from Fox. You watched the moment from the journey that began at Mar-a-Lago earlier on today, just after noon, as they now touch down as we approach the 4 o'clock hour on the East Coast. The former president arriving to begin an unprecedented chapter as he was the first former president to be indicted there for criminal charges. He will make this journey from LaGuardia Airport to Trump Tower, the some 10-mile journey there, as he will spend the night at his residence there before expecting to be in Manhattan for the arraignment and the booking early on Tuesday morning, in 24 hours or so from now. We're going to continue to follow this here on Live Now from Fox. I'm going to put up some other shots that we continue to follow as other people are stepping off the plane as well. Certainly a very big moment in time right now as we see this take place here in LaGuardia in New York City. We saw plenty of supporters on the ground in Palm Beach that were with flags, with signs, with different Trump-labeled signs, flags, shirts, and whatnot.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to play both sides of the Republican drama.
Similar supporters, the followers of Trump after
and is
raid on Mar-a-Lago
is currently leading a peaceful protest, as far as I understand, about this.
Also there once again for this, as he has been indicted and will be arraigned on Tuesday. There's expecting to be a rally with Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene early on Tuesday morning. Certainly plenty of supporters likely to be in attendance for that as well. We want to put up another shot here on Live Now from Fox as we'll give you a look of where they are heading. As right now, this is the tarmac there at LaGuardia Airport. They will soon be heading to Trump Tower. As you can see, a live picture we have out of Trump Tower as well, downtown Manhattan, as this is the location. As you can see, plenty of traffic, expecting to close off some streets around Trump Tower, around the Manhattan DA's office. So that's a security concern that the officials in New York, the New York Police Commissioner, are continuing to watch as well. They also heard from the mayor there, Eric Adams, talking about making sure protests, potential protests and rallies and speeches were nonviolent. Also talking about protocols, that making sure people understood the rules, the laws of New York, and some zones where carrying a firearm, no matter the permit, is considered illegal, that being like a courthouse or a federal building. So they will soon head to
This is
Trump
the most
Tower
innocent man in America. I can't believe what they're
from
doing.
LaGuardia Airport. We want to give you another picture of what we see from a different angle here, just so you can kind of see what we're looking at as well from our various different angles. You can see there from kind of the concourse, you can see the front of the former president's plane, excuse me, as they will head to LaGuardia here. Head to Trump Tower momentarily here on Live Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. We're going to step aside for just a quick 2-minute break and then get right back into him as you'll see him travel that way.
Raw. Anyway, other than the live shit, let's get into it. Let's get started on the news. Trump is preparing to surrender to New York authorities after indictment.
We'll start with former President Donald Trump, expected to leave Palm Beach Airport for New York, where he's going to turn himself in tomorrow to face criminal charges. We don't know the exact charges.
What is this, bro? This is 1P. This is the most 1P ass fucking video I've ever seen.
When the indictment is released tomorrow, but we do know the investigation is focused at least part on a hush money payment before the 2016 election. We are covering all the angles this morning, what to expect at the arraignment, the legal minefield Donald Trump could be facing. We also have a new poll on what the American people think of this unprecedented indictment. Rachel Scott starts us off at Mar-a-Lago. Good morning, Rachel.
The 1P is real, true.
George, good morning. And this will be a moment unlike any other in American history. In just a few hours, former President Donald Trump will leave his Mar-a-Lago estate to do something that no former president has ever done before, turn himself over to authorities. This morning, former President Donald Trump is preparing to leave his Mar-a-Lago estate and surrender to authorities in New York. His attorney already promising a fight.
He's gearing up for a battle. You know, this is something that obviously we believe is a political persecution. He's a tough guy, George, as you know, and he's someone who's going to be ready for this fight.
It's the first time a former president has ever faced criminal charges. Given the historic nature of the indictment, Trump's own lawyer admits he doesn't even know what to expect.
This is unprecedented. I don't know. I've done a million arraignments in that courthouse with celebrities and whatnot, but this is a whole different thing. We have Secret Service involved. What I hope is that we get in and out as quickly as possible.
The indictment remains under seal until Trump makes his first appearance in court tomorrow. But sources tell ABC the former president faces around 24 counts, including felonies, in connection to a hush money payment made to porn star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. The indictment has unified the Republican Party, 6 governors and 90 Republicans on Capitol Hill putting out statements in support of the former president.
Overall, it's ridiculous. If this is politically motivated, this will be a shame on our criminal justice system.
Even Trump's potential rivals rushing to his defense.
They're trying to do all these legal gymnastics to try to act like it's a felony, when almost every other time he's trying to take the felonies and downgrade them to misdemeanors. This guy is doing politics. He has an agenda. That is not the rule of law.
So cucked. So incredibly cucked.
One Republican who is not, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, who told our Jonathan Karl he plans to run and challenge Trump in 2024.
Do you believe that now that he's been indicted, should he drop out?
Well, I do, and for a couple reasons.
Yeah, this guy's really going to save the Republican Party.
Office is more important than any individual person. And so for the sake of the office of the presidency, I do think that's too much of a sideshow and distraction.
As Trump prepares for that court appearance tomorrow, our latest ABC News Ipsos poll shows that 45% of Americans believe that Trump should be charged with a crime. 32%, including the majority of Republicans, say that he should not. After his arraignment, Trump is expected to travel right back here to Florida to deliver an evening address.
Hi, everyone.
So there is no doubt.
Majority of Americans approve the Trump indictment? Oh, no. Things are not looking good for my boy right now. Hold on. This is not good. B. Bonjuk, thank you for the 5 get the subs. This is not good at all, folks. This is not good at all. Also, here's an update. Apparently, according to Rolling Stone, by Pop Base. I don't know why Pop Base is like not fucking linking the article immediately. Inside Trump's demands for a high-profile surrender, it's kind of a Jesus Christ thing. He passed on an offered low-profile arraignment, instead hoping to paint a public picture of persecution and send a message to his supporters. Oh, come the fuck on. What do you mean? He did this already with the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. This is why I love him. Because he is the content lord, okay? He is content Jesus. He will put himself on a cross for this shit. Obviously, because it doesn't have like super serious repercussions for him. Because like this arraignment in and of itself is like for a very minor offense, right? So he knows that he will most likely beat the case. He knows. Listen, what do conservatives, especially conservatives with like with proximity to power or a little bit of power in their own inner circles, in their own small towns or whatever, what do they love more than anything? Victimization. They love acting like they are being victimized by society. When they have a profound amount of privilege, they often think everything is out to get them. Everyone is out to get them. Weeby said meth. So they have a victimhood fetish. This is great for Trump to try to basically make it seem as though he is being victimized. I couldn't find the original clip where you learn about the P word, but I did find this. Hasan, are you Trump for real, though?
Than fucking saying it. That's precisely why no one has to say the full N word, because everybody knows what that is. Not a single person is like, oh, I wonder if that means like nuclear. No.
Damn. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro. That's old as fuck. That's like 2020, dude. That's crazy. Put the hoodie on to hide. Yeah, I'm hiding my shame that I'm Trump's ghostwriter. Let's continue.
Now, the decision to indict has elicited a strong reaction across the political spectrum. New CNN polling shows many Americans believe politics played at least some role in the decision to indict Donald Trump. Take a look at this. 52% say politics played a major role, and you see 23% say a minor role. Some think no role, and there's also an element of people who still, they really are not sure. CNN's Jeff Zeleny joins us now for much more on this. Jeff, many people think that politics played some role in this indictment, but how many people that were polled actually approve of the indictment?
Okay, this is so interesting. Of course, you cannot divorce politics from any of this because we are talking about
titty
the
milk.
former president here, who, of course, is a
Uber Kaiser Soze. Thank you for the tank.
The findings of our new poll. Take a look at this. 60% of Americans, some 6 in 10 of Americans, support the overall indictment here.
That's crazy, dude. That's a wild fucking poll, man. That is an insane fucking number of Americans that are like, yeah, fucking lock them up. I'm just, wow. Wow. Like, basically, they're just like, we don't even care. Just fucking throw them in there for whatever reason.
And 40% are against it. That's largely driven by sort of some common views from Republicans. Of course, they're opposed, Democrats support, but independents largely follow this rule. So that is so interesting that 60% support. And we should be clear, we do not know exactly what is in the indictment. This is just based on the broad confines of a familiar storyline of a hush money payment that we've been talking about for more than 6 years now. So 6 in 10 Americans support.
I bet Hillary indictment numbers would also be comically high. You know what? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't believe that. I wish it were, but I don't think it would be that high. I think a lot of you mistake our circle and like Republicans for how much they hate Hillary Clinton, but there are so many like rich suburban Republicans who are like, I don't know if Hillary Clinton should go to jail. You know what I mean? Like, and Hillary still has stands somehow. I don't know how. It's fucking weird and gross. But I mean, I'd be on board though. For the record, it would be so awesome. But yeah, like Liberals fucking love Hillary Clinton. I think you guys kind of misread that a little bit.
That, but there is so much more interesting findings in our poll this morning that really speaks to the dynamic of the politics going into this, Kate.
And one thing we see is that maybe the only unsurprising thing in this is that it shows that the nation remains so divided, especially when it comes to Donald Trump. But what are you seeing in this poll in terms of the overall impact, the impact on the country, the impact on democracy?
We should talk about the historic nature of this. Yes, this is a really a run-of-the-mill indictment, but a former president has never been indicted and arraigned. So the next 48 hours are going to see something in the country we have never seen before. So when you talk about democracy, take a look at these numbers. What do you think about the strength of democracy? And 31% of Americans say that it strengthens it. 31% say it weakens. 23% it has no effect at all. So divided. Americans clearly divided among party lines and familiar lines on this. But this is a historic proceeding, no question, so we cannot not take stock of all of that. But there is no doubt as we go forward here, democracy is at the core of this, and he obviously has other cases pending in Georgia and in federal court as well. So this is something that will be a through line of all this conversation today, Kate.
That is a great point. It's good to see you, Jeff. Thank you so much.
CNN's Kara Scannell is outside the court in New York City for us. Kara, officials in New York are set to make a public announcement that we're just...
Holding people accountable hurts democracy? Yes, it does. American democracy and the American understanding of democracy revolves around equality for those at the tippy top who have a lot of power and just absolutely the worst fucking solutions for those who do not have access to the best lawyers who are not above the law. So in many respects, when people are getting mad at this, when people are getting upset at this, they are correct. They are upset about like the way they interpret American democracy, the way they interpret American governance. They're upset that like it's not working for people on our side. It's not working for rich, wealthy guys, wealthy Republicans who are like on our side. It's fucked up that you're doing this. It's kind of similar to the January 6th guys that had a lot of entitlement, where they had a big sense of entitlement, so much so that they went in, broke into fucking Congress, and we're talking about like killing Michael Pence, ran around with like zip ties and shit, screaming, hang Michael Pence. And then were shocked when like some of them got arrested. They were like, oh, what the fuck? This is not supposed to happen. This is not supposed to happen to me. The law is on my side. The law works for me. That's the same energy here, where they're like, what? Why is Trump getting punished for something like this? Like, it should never happen. This is so fucked up. Ultimately, they're defending the system for what the system is actually supposed to defend. Those who are in positions of power. Worst take. Please elaborate. I would love to hear your counter to this. Yeah. It always reminds me of the white doctor guy who got Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, actually, who got arrested in a airport terminal in Florida, and while he was getting arrested, he said, "You're treating me like a black person." It always reminds me of that story, where it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? This is not supposed to happen to me at all. Like that's, here's the doctor vid. Yeah, here this.
I'm not. Do not hurt me. Do not hurt me. You understand? Do not be rough with me. Look at them. Look at them. They're going to beat me up. Don't beat me up, you mother. Don't beat me up. Look at them. Oh, my God. I can't believe they're doing this. Oh, my God. Hey. Look what they're doing. Oh, get to the other side. I'm not listening. I'm supposed to be rough with me. You treat me like a black person. You're gonna get sprayed.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, that's what it always reminds me of when people go, "Wait a minute, January 6th guys are actually going to jail? Like, what the fuck?" Okay, but he's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. But understand that we all understand and agree with what is going on here happens to black people all the time, and it's unacceptable. The fact that he did not say the N-word and black person also low-key kind of subtly implies that maybe he's not as much as a racist person in that regard. I think, like, did we do an analysis of this after the fact? I think at the time everyone clowned on him, but he was like trying to say like he's a liberal. I think he was just like a lib, and he was making a point, like saying that that's actually unacceptable type shit. But for real, to take the liberals like Hillary so far off from the truth, I'd like you to elaborate on that. Dude, liberals love Hillary Clinton. Like elite libs love Hillary Clinton. What do you mean? That's not crazy. Coastal elites? Oh my God. I don't see socialists screaming on the ground in airports. What? He doing too much, I swear, these hogs. I don't see socialists screaming on the ground in airports. I mean, you know, that's a brutal arrest regardless of who it is. But remember, like I said, when people are criticizing the Justice Department for this, they're doing it because, like, this is not supposed to happen. Like, they're shocked by it happening. And it's understandable if you think that the system is designed to protect you and those who have your best interest in mind, if you think that they do, like Donald Trump, which doesn't actually have the best interest of many Americans in mind, but they think so it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the reason why they're doing it is because, guys, I'm not going to do the top of the hour ad breaks anymore. I think it's so annoying. Like here, yeah, there's an ad break now. I got it. Like once it comes 5 minutes prior to the top of the hour, everyone is literally every single time I'm talking, the entire chat is like, "Oh, there's a segue. There's a segue. There's a segue. You won." I'm not going to do it. The most annoying motherfuckers won. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to run it. 3-minute ad break now. Okay, no more segues, no more fun, no more gamifying it. I'm just going to run the top of the hour ad break. There you go. You can't have nice things any longer. I'm just so fucking annoyed by it. It's like more annoying in the chat than me, like, you know, doing a fun, quick little segue. It just gets so annoying because, like, I can't communicate with anyone in the chat because everyone thinks every little thing I'm saying is like an actual debate or something. Like, it's fun when chat tries to get me to. It's fun when chat tries to get me duped and get me to read one of their fucking takes, and it's like a segue. It's fun when I give you a funny segue that you weren't expecting. What's not fun is that when people are just like constantly spamming like, "Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming." You're metagaming. You're literally metagaming, and it's fucking annoying. Stop metagaming. You're ruining the fun. Bro, why are you so upset? Come on, bro. Because you're metagaming. It's annoying. You look at the clock and you see that the clock is like 10 minutes prior to the top of the hour, and you start spamming. You want to be the guy who wins the game, but nobody likes a metagamer. You know? It's like being the adult man in the haunted house, bragging that he's not scared and predicting when things will jump out. Hate that. Yeah, just have fun. No, you are the annoying one. Okay. I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry. I'm like, You know? The rules are simple. Either we get you baited or we bait you. These guys are sitting on the sidelines acting like they can play. Exactly. That's what I mean. Let it happen. Either hit me with a good segue that like I read and not even realize, or I hit you with a segue. You're the younger brother who cries over the smallest things. No, I don't think, I'm not crying. I don't give a shit. It's just like annoying. It's my stream. Am I not allowed to like do housekeeping every now and then? Like, that part is odd. Like, whenever I make a statement about something that's like dumb, people go, dude, why are you making a big deal out of it? It's like, well, you know, I want to make sure that this is, I want to make sure that this space is reflective of like what I wanted to look like. You know? Yeah, it's my stream. It's like very odd to feel entitled about how I want to conduct it, how I want to change it. Anyway, let's continue with the content.
Just hearing the commissioner and the mayor. What are you learning?
Yes, Sarah, that's right. So just about at noon Eastern, the New York City mayor and the NYPD commissioner are expected to make an announcement to address the public about the security measures that are in place for Trump's arraignment tomorrow.
Curry Swirl, thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
That there are no credible threats against the courthouse or in the area, and there's no threat of disruptors, but they will give the public a briefing of what to expect. Now, behind the scenes, there's a lot that's also happening. There's restrictions on the 15th floor in the courthouse behind me over my shoulder. That is where the former president will be arraigned. Come in, self-surrender midday, and they're speeding up this process. He may or may not have a mugshot taken. There are questions about that. He's likely to be fingerprinted, and then he will walk down a public hallway where other defendants, everyone from drug dealers to his former chief financial officer, and go into the courtroom and face the judge. That's when the judge will ask him to enter a plea, and Trump's attorneys say that he will plead not guilty. From there, Trump is expected to head back to the airport and then back to Mar-a-Lago, where he said he will address the nation at 8:15. Sarah?
Yeah, arraignments are regular course of business for the courts, but not this one. Can you give us a sense of what Trump's legal team has been saying? They have done a media blitz over the last few days.
Yeah, they certainly have. And I mean, their main point here is that they are going to look for every possible way to launch a legal challenge in this case. Going ahead, that they're putting forward an aggressive posture. Now, one thing that one of Trump's attorneys, Joe Tacopina, he was on CNN yesterday saying, you know, just how aggressive they're going to take this. Take a listen.
We will take the indictment. We will dissect it. The team will look at every potential issue that we will be able to challenge, and we will challenge. And of course, I very much anticipate a motion to dismiss coming because there's no law that fits this.
So they're looking to take a bunch of legal angles here, motions to dismiss, also possibly challenging the statute of limitations in this case, as well as other matters. Now, the one thing, though, is that those motions will all happen a bit down the road because they've yet to see what the specific charges are in this indictment. And CNN and other media organizations have asked the judge to unseal that. The judge has this deadline for both sides, the Trump and the DA, to respond at 1 p.m. And we could see these specific charges and the indictment unsealed later today. Sarah?
Kara Scannell, thank you. Outside of the court there in New York, I want to bring in CNN national correspondent Kristen Holmes. You are in West Palm Beach, Florida, as we can see, with the wind and the water behind you. The president is set to take off in, I think, less than an hour. What are you learning about his plan?
Sarah, that's absolutely right. So we are waiting to see him leave his Mar-a-Lago home. He will be traveling with a small group of aides, including his top campaign advisors, Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita. They will be traveling by motorcade to the airport, which is close by, and then flying into LaGuardia on Trump's private plane, and they are expected to land around 3 o'clock. Then we are told Trump will go to Trump Tower, and I was actually just told by a source that he is likely to meet with his lawyers while he is in Trump Tower. He will spend the night there before heading to the courthouse on Tuesday. Now, As you noted, and as Kara noted, he will come back almost immediately after that arraignment to deliver remarks. We will be there at Mar-a-Lago at his resort, and I am told by sources this will be the former president's opportunity to really take control of the narrative. Of course, we have heard him from the last several weeks calling this a political witch hunt, a hoax, but this will be the first time that we actually see him respond to the charges as we all learn them on Tuesday afternoon. That's when we're expected to actually learn what they are.
All right, Kristen Holmes, thank you there live from West Palm Beach. Let's go ahead and dig deeper into the security concerns now. Joining us is Jonathan Wackrow. He is CNN law enforcement analyst and a former Secret Service agent. So you know this like the back of your hand, except this is unprecedented. Let's talk about what's going to happen here. Usually the Secret Service is in charge of presidents, former presidents, vice presidents, and they're the ones that sort of make the plan. Is that going to be different now?
It is different now. The Secret Service is not the lead coordinating agency for this, the security protocols that we see being put into place. It's actually the NYPD is taking the lead role along with the New York State court officers. They're really bifurcating the internal security of the courthouse and then external in the city at large. And that's unique for the Secret Service. Typically, we do see them in that lead coordinating role, whether it's for political rallies, presidential events. But this is different. This is a private event. This is private business that the former president has to do in front of the court. So from the Secret Service standpoint, it's almost administrative. Their responsibility is the protectee, bringing him from point A into the courthouse, allowing the former president to do his business before the court and getting out, all safely, but very well coordinated with other law enforcement entities who are participating in tomorrow's event.
I'm curious how long it has taken for them to coordinate, knowing all of this that has been happening in the lead up to this. But I do want to ask you what their concerns are. I mean, there are a myriad of things that could happen when you have a city the size of New York,
Correct.
With the speed at which New York, flows. What are the big security concerns that they should be looking out for?
Well, really, you have to think about, we've known about tomorrow for a while, right? We anticipated it. So law enforcement has been coordinating, putting together a security plan, the overlay of the city, so not just at the courthouse, but the city at large. The challenge is addressing the wild card events. What happens if there's peaceful protest that actually turns into violence? What happens? Its consequences.
We don't know what the official charges are yet. Everything about the charges up until this very moment have simply been speculation. We don't know yet. We're not supposed to know yet. Once the arraignment happens, which is supposed to happen tomorrow, that's when we will know what the charges are. That's how it works.
Management. But the NYPD does this better than any other law enforcement entity in the world. They're prepared. Tomorrow you'll see 35,000 uniformed NYPD officers in a 24-hour period, making sure that the city is safe and secure. They're going to play it extremely cautious. Why? Because law enforcement no longer has to anticipate whether or not domestic violence extremists will actually engage. We know from January 6th that they will. So they have to over-prepare tomorrow, prepare for the worst-case scenario, hope for the best. Hopefully it's peaceful protest, individuals expressing their First Amendment constitutional right, but it doesn't transcend into violence.
And we know, very similar to January 6th, you are hearing from the former president. He is calling on people to be there, to support him. I do want to ask you about this sort of, mandate that every agency has. And everything is political at some point, right, when you're dealing with a former president. And certainly he's made it so, posting on social media. So when it comes to Donald Trump, and when it comes to the Secret Service handling this particular unprecedented historic case, how do they do it without getting sucked into the politics?
Well, listen, there's no other law enforcement entity in the world that's drawn into politics more than the Secret Service, right? By the nature of their job. They're at the White House. They're with political leaders. But this is a seminal moment for the agency where they have to remain neutral. The optic has to show that they're not currying favor to the former president nor the DA. They need to focus on their primary remit, which is protection, protecting the former president, because that's what they're mandated to do. They work with other law enforcement entities to ensure that the area is secure, but they are not coordinating any special accommodations for the president inside. The moment that they do, they'll be swayed one way or the other. And right now, it is essential for the agency just to do their core responsibility of protection.
Let's turn now to the Justice Department's probe. This is a separate investigation into classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. The Washington Post yesterday reporting this, that federal investigators have, quote, amassed fresh evidence pointing to possible obstruction by former President Trump. Here's what the Post is reporting, that investigators now suspect that boxes of classified documents were moved from a storage area at Mar-a-Lago. This is after, and this matters, the timing, after the DOJ served a subpoena to recover those documents from Florida, and that Trump personally, investigators believe, examined at least some of those boxes, again, after the subpoena. Trump's team only returned some documents with classified markings. An FBI search at Mar-a-Lago would later find more than 100 classified items that were not turned over, including top secret documents. The Post reports investigators have obtained emails and text messages of a former Trump staffer, and they give a detailed understanding of what was happening during those months at Mar-a-Lago. More on that as we get it.
Let's get perspective on what's happening, especially here in New York. CNN senior legal analyst and former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, Mr. Eli Honig, joins us now. And we should point out that he also knows Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg personally.
How will this indictment be beneficial to Trump as well as the charges? I can see him from a foreigner view to this. Trump supporters view this man as solutions to many problems in America. My bad if the question is too vague. To his supporters, he looks like
configuration is going to bring him
like a
down
victim.
To the courthouse. He's going to enter not the courthouse entrance, but he's going to go into the district attorney's office, where he'll be taken into custody by a DA's.
He's at the towers.
This won't be an arrest by the NYPD. It'll be a civilian investigator employed by the district attorney's office who has worked on this case. He'll be fingerprinted. I think we're not likely to see.
He wants to play martyr more than a victim? No.
And then
he's not going to be martyred. Martyrdom implies that he's dead.
Elevators to the courtroom.
Martyrdom implies sacrifice. The reason why we're saying he's playing the role of a victim here is because there's not really much sacrifice. So much so that he's personally demanded that he actually get brought in. At least according to the Rolling Stones investigation on it, which they do have some inside sources. I don't know how the fuck. I mean, I assume they just leak this stuff, right? There's no way. But yeah, a law enforcement official tells Rolling Stone that the former president was offered a chance to surrender quietly and be arraigned over Zoom. Instead, Trump opted for a midday high-profile booking at the Manhattan courthouse, the official says. He wanted a perp walk. He wanted daylight hours, says the law enforcement official who was involved in aspects of the security planning. He wants to get out of the vehicle and walk up the stairs. This is a nightmare for Secret Service, but they can only strongly suggest, not order, that Trump enter through the secure tunnels. Trump wants to greet the crowd. This should be a surprise to no one, especially not his detail. Secret Service had argued in favor of holding the proceedings outside of court business hours at night with minimal cameras and less risk. But Trump, a source close to his legal team, says wants to create the type of scene that he believes will galvanize his supporters. Now, you don't even need insider access. You don't need insider access or any kind of law enforcement person to tell you that this is the case. Just literally look to what's going on, right? It's pretty obvious that is the case. It's pretty obvious that he's doing it for that reason. Why else would he do it on a fucking Tuesday morning? You know what I mean? Why would he do that on a Tuesday morning? It's kind of a Jesus Christ thing. He's saying, I'm absorbing all this pain from all around, from everywhere, so you don't have to. Says the source, describing the message Trump hopes to send his supporters. The source says, if they can do this to me, they can do this to you. And that's a powerful message. He has content brain. And I think he totally gets how this looks. He totally gets how this is perceived. You know? I genuinely don't believe that angle will be taken well by most people. Most people don't know the government can do that to them. I think it's odd to I don't know. I feel like it's a weird circumstance where like people kind of do think that they can get in trouble now. January 6th kind of showed that. So maybe he can like ham that aspect up a little bit more. And those people still operate under the assumption that they shouldn't get in trouble. So, yeah.
That the cameras are going to be over, the helicopters that we're seeing today, that motorcade will be on this street tomorrow. And this is just outside the Manhattan District Attorney's office. The entrance inside is 1 Hogan Place, and that's it right there. To the left there, you'll see 1 Hogan Place. And so he will go in through that door, and that's when he's going to be met by the staff from the district attorney's office, who are then going to take him upstairs where they begin the arrest process. Once he enters those doors, Jake, he is under arrest, and officials will then take him into custody. Then he'll be brought upstairs, and then at some point he'll be brought over to the courthouse, which is connected to this office, taken up to the 15th floor, and that's when the arraignment will take place. But Jake, just to set the scene out here, these barriers that I'm going to show you here are all across the courthouse here. There's obvious concern here with protests planned and supporters coming out for the former president, with concern with what happened on January 6th. So the NYPD is out here in force. They have some officers out here today. The state court officers are out here as well. You can see them over here. Their vehicles are parked here. And so these barriers stretch all the way down the block. Certainly come tomorrow, Jake, it's going to be a very different scene here. The streets are going to be closed. We're going to see a lot more officers, a lot more people, a lot more of Trump supporters. Of course, some folks who are against the former president. So there's going to be a lot of activity. This street where I'm standing on is going to be entirely closed with Secret Service agents and officers and the NYPD who really are concerned with what's going to be going on out here. Inside, it's going to be the court officers and the Secret Service that are going to be providing security for the former president, Jake.
All right, Shimon Prokopis outside the Manhattan Criminal Court. Thank you so much. Again, this hour, we're watching Donald Trump's arrival in New York, arriving at Trump Tower just moments ago after landing at LaGuardia Airport. The grand jury witness list helped show the direction of this investigation. But, of course, we do not know how strong the case is. Plus the public perception of the charges Trump is facing. CNN is asking the American people, how much do they think politics played a role in the charges? We're going to squeeze in a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey, man.
Here, so we just want to disclose that. Ellie, good morning to you. Let's start with...
Why do they have to arrest Trump on a schedule? Because that's not how this works. When you're a rich guy, when you're a powerful guy, yes, the law works on your time. This isn't some like random schmo that they're arresting. This is a former president. Like, of course they're gonna fucking do this on their schedule for the most part. Especially because this isn't fucking murder either. You know what I mean? This is not like a super high level felony. So it would be kind of ridiculous if they like fucking arrested him aggressively and like shackled him. Anyway.
With New York indictment, what we're going to see this week. What are we learning about the charges that he might be facing? Basically, what's in the indictment, right?
Sure. So we've not seen the indictment yet, but we're getting really important indicators that give us a sense of what could be in there. First of all, Don, on Friday, the judge in this case issued the first official order in the case, basically just saying Alvin Bragg, the DA, can disclose that there's an indictment. It will be unsealed on Tuesday. But this was really an important moment because we saw for the first time the case caption, People of the State of New York against Donald J. Trump, defendant. This is real. We also learned over the weekend that there will be at least one felony charge in this indictment. There better be, by the way. If this is just a bunch of misdemeanors, the DA is going to have some serious questions to answer. But here's what that could mean. It looks like some of the charges will relate to falsification of business records. The idea is they falsely logged these payments as attorney's fees, but that would just be a misdemeanor, the less serious type of charge with a 1-year maximum. The dividing line between a misdemeanor and a felony, by the way, is 1 year. If it's 1 year or less, it's a misdemeanor as the max. And if it's above 1 year, then it's a felony. How could they make this a felony? if they can tie those business records to some other crime, to some second crime. And the theory here...
Again, remember, these are potential charges. These are potential charges. These are potential charges. Falsification of business records, misdemeanor 1 year max. Falsification of business records to commit or conceal another crime. Class E felony, 4 years max. These are potential. We don't know yet. We don't know.
Is that second crime could be a campaign finance violation. If prosecutors charge and prove that, it's a Class E felony, the lowest level of felony in New York State, which has a maximum of 4 years. And finally, Don, we know from our reporting from John Miller and others here that the indictment is expected to have 34 counts. That's a lot, but each individual entry in the business records could be its own count.
You've heard a lot of the Trump folks out this weekend, the attorneys saying that they're going to fight this, they're going to seek to dismiss this. What kind of legal tactics will they use to do that?
They're not playing this one very close to the vest. They spent a lot of the weekend talking to Dana Bash and others about their strategy. They are going to argue that legally, we're in state court here, New York State Court. You cannot charge a violation of a federal election law. This is a presidential election under state law. And if they do that, by the way, they could knock out this because that other crime is the federal election violation, leaving them with only misdemeanors. So that's going to be a really important argument. We also know from listening to Trump's lawyers this weekend, they're going to argue there was no intent to defraud here, meaning in most business records cases, somebody takes a record, falsifies it, gives it to somebody else in order to steal money. That's not the case here. It's a little different scenario. They're going to argue that as well. Trump's team is also going to argue statute of limitations, meaning you typically have 5 years from the time a felony is committed to charge it.
Yeah, again, the statute of limitations argument is so fucking stupid because it's like, yeah, no shit. They couldn't do it when he was the president. Like you can't, dude. Oh my God. It's like if you did a crime, like let's say you did like a fucking violent assault or something. I don't know what the statute of limitation for that is, but like they tried to arrest you and you evaded the law successfully for many, many years. And then you come back and you're like, well, guess what? You know, I did the race. I successfully did the race. They catch you and you're like, well, you know, you can't. The statute of limitation is over. Like, I feel like I don't know how that works in this situation. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers thinks it's Grand Theft Auto star levels. Golden State serial killer was convicted like 40 years after. There's actually a law that pauses the statute of limitations for the time you spend outside the country. During a period in which the suspect can't be arrested or arraigned for whatever reason. Like, because this is like a low-level misdemeanor at best, or considered, again, a low-level felony at worst, I understand why there's a statute of limitation, but part of the reason why they could not continue the statute of limitation, or part of the reason why they could not continue with this prosecution at the time, was because he was president. So it's not a matter of like, it's not a like, I don't know how that works. It's a unique situation is what I'm saying. So I don't know how that would work in this circumstance. It's like, he's not doing the race technically. He's right there. And they can't really pursue it legally because he's the president as well. Like he could have he basically stopped a prosecution or stopped prosecution dead in his tracks, regardless because of his position. I mean, this is a unique case. It truly is, and I don't know. It doesn't matter the circumstances. If you can't arrest or arraign, the statute is paused.
2 years for a misdemeanor. Now, we're beyond both of those time periods. However, they are going to be rescued here because prosecutors are going to be rescued because there's a New York law that says you can pause that time period when someone's living continuously out of state. Trump has lived in the White House and Mar-a-Lago. And then finally, I am certain that Trump's team, and they've more than signaled this, is going to argue selective prosecution. They're going to say he's been singled out for political purposes. That's a really difficult argument to succeed
And they're
on.
using their John Edwards argument, right?
Yes.
In this case, right?
Yes.
What about the judge? Because Trump has talked about the judge. What about the judge in this case? What
Yes.
do we know?
So the judge here, Juan Merchan, by the way, let me just point out, this is called New York Supreme Court. A little bit confusing. That's what they call the trial level court here in New York. The judge is a former prosecutor. He was with the DA's office, same office that's prosecuting this case, and the AG's office. Let me say, nothing unusual or inappropriate about that. Many judges are former prosecutors. He's been on the bench since 2006. Best known before this because he presided over the case against Alan Weisselberg, who pled guilty, and the trial of the Trump Organization. Trump's lawyers, by the way, may object to this because the way this judge got put on this case is prosecutors said it's related to these cases, so he should get it, as opposed to just going to the wheel for random assignment. Watch for Trump's lawyers to challenge that and say, this should not be related to that. We should get a randomly assigned judge. And finally, Don, the judge has to make his first really big decision, probably today, about whether he'll allow cameras in the courtroom for tomorrow's proceeding. We at CNN are part of a group of media outlets that have asked the judge, let us see it. Open up the courtroom. It's a public proceeding. Let the cameras in. He'll have to decide that soon.
Do you think that'll happen?
You know, he has a history of not allowing cameras in, but given the level of public interest here, I don't see how he says no. I think he, look, if I can opinionate for a second, he should let cameras in because the public interest in this is through the roof.
Really? All right. Ellie Honig, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Hello, I'm Dana Bash in Washington, where the State of our Union is bracing ourselves for a seismic event. As the first ever former U.S. president to face criminal charges prepares to appear in court. Prosecutors, police, the Secret Service, and Trump's team are working out details for his arraignment before a judge in a Manhattan criminal court on Tuesday, where Donald Trump will face a more than 30-count indictment related to business fraud. That indictment is still under seal.
There's such content demons. Insane. I mean, we are too. Let's be real. I mean, why are you excited, right? Aren't we all excited for the same thing? I'm bricked up, to be honest. I think it's great. I love it. He sucks. He's done a lot that's like shitty. And you know, one of the many shitty things he's getting a little bit in he's getting in hot water for, and it's funny.
It follows District Attorney Alvin Bragg's investigation into a hush money payment by Trump's then personal attorney, Michael Cohen, to an adult film actress just before the 2016 election. In response, true to form, the former president is going on the attack, calling the indictment political, calling it a persecution, and using it to bolster his own 2024 presidential campaign. Well, here with me now is the former president's lawyer for this case, Joe Tacopina. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I first want to ask you about what you know at this moment about the arraignment, how it's going to go. Walk us through what is going to happen when the former president shows up in New York.
Well, then, I mean, in theory, it should be like the hundreds of other arraignments I've done in that building over the course of my career, which is you walk in, you see a judge.
Let's go.
You plead not guilty. You set a schedule, and you leave. Obviously, this is different. This has never happened before. I've never had Secret Service involved in an arraignment before at 100 Center Street. So the answer to that question, Dan, is I honestly don't know how this is going to go. Hopefully as smoothly as possible, and then we begin the battle to right this wrong, because it's a day that, in my opinion, the rule of law in the United States has died.
We're going to get to that in a second. But just on the logistics, do you know what time it starts?
You know, nothing's been nailed down yet.
Okay.
I think that's going to happen tomorrow, but I think sometime in the afternoon.
Will there be a perp walk? You said you've done many of these before. Most of them do have perp walks.
Not really, not in a case like this. But, you know, look, I anticipate them trying to get every ounce of publicity out of this.
When he says them, I feel like he's talking about, like, he's trying to say CNN or, you know, Alvin Bragg is trying to get every ounce of publicity out of this. But what the reality is Trump. Trump is the one who's getting or trying to get as much publicity out of this as possible. Like, they love this shit. His team loves this shit. You cannot convince me that Donald Trump is not trying to milk this as hard as he fucking can. To one, beef up his relevancy. Two, beef up and ham up the narrative that he is being victimized for being a defender of, like, white America, okay, or Republican values or whatever. I mean, it's great, especially because, like, it's so low stakes. Unless this fucking arraignment shows that there are, like, insane amounts of charges that we had no clue about. Because remember, part of the reason why we are speculating on what's going on is because of people that were brought in before the grand jury, right, as key witnesses, and what they said or what they speculate the court case is going to be on, what the investigation was on. This is all pure speculation. If there are charges that are significant, more significant than the ones that are being discussed, then it turns into a very funny shit show. But the reason why Trump is currently, playing this role, pushing to try to do this as publicly as possible, is because he thinks this will benefit him, and because he thinks that there isn't going to be, serious legal repercussions here. He thinks he's going to easily beat the case.
That they can get. I don't know if that's going to happen again. Secret Service is involved. So hopefully this will be as painless and classy as possible for a situation like this, which I don't even know really what brings us here, but that's a different story.
Some of the basics are, as you said, necessary as part of this process. Mugshot. Will he have to take a mugshot?
Again, Dana, you're asking me questions that this is not normal operating procedure. Yeah, it's all up in the air. All the Tuesday stuff is still very much up in the air, other than the fact that we will very loudly and proudly say not guilty.
Well, you're a very seasoned attorney, so presumably your strategy is not up in the air. So let's talk about what you're thinking about when it comes to the legal strategy once Donald Trump is arraigned. Are you going to move to dismiss the case right off the bat in the arraignment? And if so, on what grounds?
Yeah, I mean, they've also raised $7 million. I think they raised $5 million the day that the indictment was announced. And they've raised $7 million since the indictment. Yeah. In the 24-hour time span that Trump basically said, they're coming after me, they're arresting me, they're going to arrest me, he raised $5 million in donations. He's a farmer, man. He knows how to farm his fucking idiots. But yeah, Trump's decision to appear in person comes after weeks of negotiations between his team and the DA, with input from the Secret Service, NYPD, and other agencies. A Secret Service spokesman confirmed it had been meeting with the NYPD and state court officers the last couple of weeks regarding safety and security concerns for the courthouse, areas around the courthouse, and the appearance of the former president. The end product is a day in court that will have some characteristics of a regular arraignment with an overlayer of the type of security a former president gets at all times. I think the worst thing that could possibly happen in this regard is if, like, someone tries to Hinckley Trump and then he eats it, survives it, and then he's a legend. You know what I mean? Like, that would be a Bolsonaro type situation. Like, that would be actually really crazy. No, don't say inshallah, dude. I'm telling you. Because Ronald Reagan survived. Bolsonaro survived. If he got fucking popped at randomly in the crowd as he's like walking in, as he's perp walking, and he survived it, he would be, he truly would have been victimized at that point. You know? So just remember that. Trump's arraignment is scheduled for 2:30, but the law enforcement officials said Trump is now expected to arrive at the courthouse around 11:30 a.m. God damn it, dude. 11:30 a.m. is so early for me. This is fucked up. I'm trying to see that shit happen. It's early as fuck, dude. 11:30 EST, that's early. 2:30 was perfect. And now this motherfucker wants to... Oh, man. I might just do an early stream tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah. Instead of working out in the morning tomorrow, I might just do a fucking early ass stream. Yeah. In before early stream, but then Trump is 3 hours late. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
No, we're not doing anything at the arraignment because that would be showmanship and nothing more because we haven't even seen the indictment yet. You know, we will take the indictment, we will dissect it. The team will look at every potential issue that we will be able to challenge, and we will challenge. And of course, I very much anticipate a motion to dismiss coming because there's no law that fits this. And you have a situation where, you know, the federal government, the Department of Justice, turned this matter down. The FEC, which governs federal election laws, said there's no violation here. Yet somehow a state prosecutor has taken a misdemeanor and tried cobbled together to make it a felony by alleging a violation of federal campaign violations, and the FEC said it doesn't exist.
Right. Let me ask you about that because you mentioned it. You've been talking a lot about the FEC and federal investigations and allegations, investigations, I should say, that didn't end up in an indictment on the federal level. But we haven't seen the specifics, and we should say that over and over again. This is still under seal, this indictment. But because it is on a local level, on a state level, presumably this will be focused on those issues where he allegedly broke the law there, whether it becomes an issue of trying to defraud a business or something along those lines, not necessarily at the FEC and things that you're discussing.
No, it can't be. This was a federal presidential election. The allegation here, in some Twilight Zone sort of scenario, is that he settled the civil case 6 years earlier, something that happens, by the way, all the time. A civil case was settled with confidentiality agreements between a lawyer that was representing him and a lawyer representing the Stormy Daniels. Trump didn't even sign that settlement agreement, so they signed it. The lawyer financed it, subsequently gave him a host of invoices for legal services over the course of a year. They were recorded, but understand, here's the key distinction, Dana. They were recorded in their entries. They were never filed anywhere. They were never filed with the IRS. They never took a tax deduction, and they were never filed with the FEC because they weren't required to. This was a personal expenditure, not a campaign expenditure. Had it been a campaign expenditure, he would have used campaign funds, and then, of course, we'd be talking about here today the outrage that Donald Trump used campaign funds for personal expenditure.
Right.
They'd be baying for his scalp. It's a completely upside down world. So he's damned if he did and damned if he didn't. So those are misdemeanors, by the way, the record entries, which don't exist. They're not false entries, but assuming they were, they're misdemeanors way beyond the statute of limitations. So they had to cobble them together to try and get a felony.
I'm going to speak to Michael Cohen's attorney next. He says that there is actual evidence that your client, the former president, participated in falsifying business records. Have you seen any such evidence?
I know there's no such evidence. I mean, look, Michael Cohen's lawyer is spinning Michael Cohen's side. Michael Cohen is a pathological, convicted liar, perjurer. He's lied to banks, the IRS, Congress. Now he's saying he lied to the FEC when he sent that letter saying there was no campaign violation. I heard him on CNN the other day saying that when he pled guilty under oath, when he became a new man, he really wasn't guilty. He was forced to plead guilty. So that's perjury, if that's now true. He's someone who's constitutionally incapable of telling the same story the same way twice.
Michael Cohen is like not a very strong witness for sure. But it is also weird that they're like shitting on him so much. I mean, I guess it's not that weird. They're like, he's now a bad guy. You know what I mean? He's no longer on Team Trump.
So I'm not really worried about what Michael Cohen is saying on this. The records and the facts will speak for themselves.
Okay, I want to ask about the judge that we believe is going to preside over the arraignment. The former president, your client, was lashing out against him. His name is Juan Merchan. And the former president said that the judge hates him and was handpicked by the DA for this case for that reason. Are you going to ask for a different judge?
We are going to take the indictment, evaluate all our legal options, and pursue everyone most vigorously. This is a case of political persecution. Had he not been running for office right now, for the office of the presidency, which, by the way, the polls have shown since this has been announced, his numbers have gone up significantly. Had he not been running for presidency, he would not have been indicted.
Well, but
Had
let's
he been
talk
John
about
Smith,
the judge.
there's no scenario where he'd been indicted.
My question is about the
Sure.
judge. Will you
About
ask?
the judge.
Will you ask for a
What's the
different
question?
judge?
Well, I just said we have to get the indictment, and then we'll evaluate every single legal maneuver. I have no issue with this judge whatsoever.
Well, your client does. He says
has
that
a very
he's
good reputation. Well, my client has a right to have an issue with everything. He's been politically persecuted. Make no mistake about that, Dana. Whether you sit on the right or the left, or you're a supporter or detractor of Donald Trump, this should really bother you. This should really shake the core of what we.
Why? Like they say this all the time, where it's like, even if you hate Donald Trump, it should bother you because what? Like if you violate the fucking law, like you might actually be prosecuted. That's what it is. That's the argument. Because like, yeah, that's kind of the case for everyone who violates the law. Like I don't really, like they keep fucking hamming on this narrative. Like, oh man, if you violate the law, you're gonna get prosecuted, guys. Everybody watch out. And it's like, yeah, no shit, dude. No fucking shit. Yes. Of course, that's literally the case. That's the case for everybody. That's the case for normal people. When they violate the law, they get fucking prosecuted. Like, what do you mean this can happen to you? It already does happen. It happens every fucking day. Sometimes it happens in an unjustifiable manner, and people have no legal recourse. They don't get to make the time and the date on their arraignment. They don't get to choose to do a perp walk, even though they are given the opportunity to do a Zoom call instead. They don't have fucking cameras waiting at their, beck and call. They don't have that shit. So if you're a Norman, don't worry. If you get in trouble with the law, especially, like, you're kind of fucked. You don't have any of the opportunities that Trump has to basically, dictate the terms of his own arraignment. However, having said that, there are still plenty of fucking people who think like, oh man, well, they're going after Trump because he loves me. He defends me, which is, of course, not real. Let's be fucking real. That's not the case. And but that won't stop people from believing that regardless. And then number two, and perhaps a little bit sillier, is that they would actually get in trouble if they were to violate the law.
I believe our justice system should be about. It should not be weaponized to go after political opponents.
So you
That's
don't
what's
believe
happened
this
here.
judge
So
is
he's lashing
biased?
out because he's the victim. I have no reason to believe this judge is biased. I've not been before him on this matter. So we have to let this process play out.
Okay. I appreciate it. Hopefully we will get back to you as you do learn more about how the process is going to go on Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Did Fox News melt this country's brain as a new Vice video? And that is true. We got Marjorie Taylor Greene's 60 Minutes interview, which is awesome. Before we move on to that, apparently there's another police chase. And yes, I am aware that there is a live crime coverage happening. Okay? But I think that a lot of you chatters forgot that, like, the person who's currently watching the live crime coverage happening in real time also literally was talking about how I should be banned. Well, he said, that I should be banned for watching live crime coverage. Do you have goldfish brain? Like, you think if I watch this right now, after, Twitch didn't ban me, you think you think I could get away with watching this? Everybody does this. Everybody watches this. Do you think I can get away with watching this, you think? Yeah, I'll just react to his stream instead. I'll react to him reacting to the crime.
There will be a litany of charges potentially filed.
This way,
is joining us now, our law enforcement expert. And Bruce, we can
almost 120.
I'm seeing it correctly on this vehicle, it does look like
he has a delay, and then I have a delay on top of the delay.
There's part of me that thinks that might be a good thing for the commute, for people who are driving. They might.
This is the most ethical way I can do it. This way, XQC can't get mad at me or Twitch for the inconsistency. You know what I'm saying? Here, we'll do it. We'll do it ethically. Because he is the referee, guys. So.
Okay, so we do know that is in the general space that it began. There was at least one point where
XQC is like your annoying little millionaire brother. Yeah, I know.
Unhinged Andy.
So they were northbound on Fig from Redondo.
This is genuinely fucking insane. This is the second time in a span of like 1 week that another cop car has been stolen.
Yeah, they have to chase because it's a cop car for something.
Because you are presented with something incredibly different.
This is the second time. It's a woman too, girl bossing.
If this wasn't a cop car and there was no gun inside, they wouldn't chase on the highway at this speed. With this much traffic, they wouldn't.
Apparently it's a lady. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it's a chase for a lot of reasons.
I actually don't understand how this is like twice in one fucking week. What's happening? Does the fucking LA Sheriff's Department and the LA Police Department have so much money that they're just like leaving cop cars around? Like, are they just leaving the fucking cop cars everywhere? I don't get it.
And you look at the rooftop of the vehicle, you'll see the 143, but you'll also see the 28. And 28 is the Compton.
Remember, these fucking cars also have guns.
We do know that. Now this is out of my ignorance. They're not locked in any mechanisms within the vehicle. They need to be accessed quickly, and that's why they're not locked. And that's a question that I
Bro, this dude is doing 109 miles, dude. Doing 109 miles on the Artesia freeway. That is an insane. He's doing crazy speeds. Like, this is profoundly fucking dangerous.
To put the shotguns in. However, once the vehicle engine is engaged, there is a release button for both weapons.
Yo! What if they're sniping the audio?
This guy just leaked that you could just unlock the fucking shotgun and use it when you,
a suspect who is desperate enough to steal a vehicle of law
enforcement. Bro is live on air. He's like
swerving. Swerving.
You'll see this person losing.
Hold your finger against the seat. Do you feel a button? If you click, it releases two guns.
It is an SUV, and you're driving this vehicle at about 110 miles an hour. So, you know, there's a lot going on here that makes this really tough.
Yeah, it's a heavy.
They're leaving their cars on parked illegally while they get their Chipotle order? What do you mean? Bro, it makes no fucking sense. There's no LA traffic. Guys, here's a trick. Some of the highways on Los Angeles, when it's off of rush hour, have no traffic whatsoever. Some of the highways in Los Angeles, depending on which direction you're going, even on rush hour, will have no traffic, as a matter of fact. A lot of people don't realize this, but rush hour traffic goes one way usually. That's it. You showed a death last time you did this? Yeah, a guy, last time this happened, a dude decided to eject himself in the fucking car. I clicked away. He died later. But this time, luckily, don't worry, I'm watching XQC, whose reaction time is way faster. This is the most ethical way that I can react to, since he brought it up. Since this happened last week, and he decided to bring it up again, I thought, you know, what better way to react to crime by, reacting to XQC react to a crime, because, you know, he is the referee ultimately. You know what I mean?
Have weapons. This is, they know what she has in that vehicle.
La Cienega just got fixed, by the way. Yeah, there's still parts of it that aren't fixed.
Standard. However, we don't know what else.
How long is this highway? This highway is infinite.
As the deputy assigned to that vehicle may have a war bag, an equipment bag with some additional stuff in it.
But at that point, if that deputy is, you know, he is obviously going to have been able to alert authorities as to what he had. Yes.
Yeah,
sure.
He put out over the radio, this is going to be a high-risk felony stop when it finally terminuses.
Mm-hmm.
You've got multiple vehicles behind them.
I mean, what do you mean by that? Is that
we see the vehicle
everybody's going to be guns drawn? If the person comes out with
7HD,
something in their hands, they're getting shot. That's what they're saying.
High speeds, even though it's under 100 miles an hour. But now you're seeing going across 3-4 lanes of traffic.
Wait, hold on.
In and out, and it does not appear as if this person has.
Does anyone have the live footage? I'll just throw it up on a different tab.
Anytime soon.
I'll throw it up on a different tab, and I'll play the audio from the tab, and I'll just mute XQC. Yeah, so that I can do my live commentary. Here, we can watch it on a delay here. Wait, why is there no audio here?
Is there any?
There's no audio on the LA County Police Chase link that you sent me.
Mentioned the exits we've passed, and our extreme nav technology shows us that we're just passing East Street, Raymond Avenue in Orange County.
There you go.
Kevin, we're also getting word from officials that even though that there are weapons locked up, even though that this female suspect behind the wheel, as
I can't believe this is a female. That's crazy.
We exited here. It looks like Raymond Avenue as they're skirting on by. It's come to a stop. Trying to get by these vehicles, Kevin. We understand that it takes a whole other set of keys to unlock where those weapons are within the cruiser. So in other words, this suspect would not have access.
This is a great year for ladies, dude.
Up, which of course
big year.
Is a huge relief.
Women's Month. Women's Month just ended.
You see, now we're getting off into surface streets again here. We're northbound on Raymond. We're in the Anaheim and Fullerton areas. Suspect is driving back and forth using opposite lanes of traffic here and keeping up those speeds there on these surface streets.
Yeah, he's on the side streets now.
Westbound on Orangethorpe, and that's going to keep us just north of the 91 freeway here, but moving back westbound. And like I said, this is going to run us alongside in the Fullerton area north of the 91 freeway. We'll be passing through the Fullerton.
I keep saying he, but it's yes. I know.
Speeds 90 miles an hour here. We are still on surface streets, going by cars that are going about 35 miles an hour, like they're standing still here. Coming up to an intersection, you see There is a green light ahead now, trying to make a southbound turn, southbound on Lemon. That's going to kind of take us back towards the 91 freeway. So we'll see if they.
Bro, hitting 84 on a side street like that is fucking bananas.
Crossover or tries to get back onto the freeway.
Absolutely bananas.
Direction. And it looks like we're just about to come up to that 91 freeway here. Almost decided to take the wrong way of traffic there, but there was a tow truck that was coming northbound. So we're still moving southbound on Lemon Street and going over the 91 freeway and then continuing. So we're going to continue southbound on Lemon here. Now this street does dead end up ahead, so it goes left or right on La Palma when it comes to it. Now there was a truck that was making left turn there.
Yep.
So they had to squeeze around. Now we're on a smaller commercial street here.
Yeah, so it's East Commercial Street.
They're trying to get the ground units into this here and trying to see, because this is kind of like a dead-end area here. This is a dead-end. The only way, I'm trying to look at the map here, the only way they kind of might be able to come back out. So they have also authorized the pit earlier in this pursuit. So this is coming up to a dead end. Airship is calling a dead end up ahead here because it's going to come up to the train tracks. So there's not going to be much more of this.
Yeah, because clearly the suspect doesn't know that she is headed toward a dead-end street, so we're going to see how this all plays out.
Uh-oh.
You saw the black and white. There's that dead end.
Oh, she's on a dead end. I'm watching. Oh, shit.
I'm not sure which kind.
I'm watching ahead of time. And the audio is ahead of time. It's spoilers. She's on a dead-end street.
Oh my
what the fuck? This is where she actually is. Excuse me, he's watching on a delay.
Trying to find their way out.
Oh!
Yeah, just trying to find her way out. Now kind of parallel, on the railroad tracks there almost, and then cut back out. And still,
oh,
they're
shit.
Setting up a containment of everything here. Okay, it's about almost getting stuck in the
The real dead end is the dead end to the content at the top of the hour when there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Let's go!
Entranceway with other black and whites.
That's the real dead end to the content, unless you subscribe for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub if you're lucky. She's still going. She's going. This is bananas. Oh, shit.
So while we thought that was going to be a surefire way to end this, it doesn't. Oh, there's the pit.
Okay,
there's the pit.
They're trying
to pit maneuver her. They busted out the pitties. Oh, she's cooked. She's cooked. They have guns pointed at her.
They've got the suspects surrounded right now. Yes.
Holy fuck. They think that she does not have access to weapons, I think.
See plenty of deputies out. Obviously, their guns drawn. This is a very dangerous situation because, A, she's using the vehicle as a deadly weapon. There are weapons inside, although we understand that.
Bro, they are wide open. Their fucking cops are literally, I don't think they think that she has guns. Oh, they blocked her in. It's over.
They're going to block it in, and then they're going to...
Oh, my goodness. So this deputy just got out.
He got out of it, but it didn't... Yeah, he got out of it, but he didn't...
The cops are so bad!
In there. Okay, so it's just a matter of time.
The cops are so bad. Dude, watch. What are the fucking... Dude, here. I got to play a replay. Look at this. Bro! Bro!
This is a very dangerous situation because, A, she's using the vehicle.
Watch this.
There are weapons inside, although we understand that she doesn't have access to the weapons.
Look at this. So this guy that fucking got out.
Yep.
So now they're gonna...
Look at it. Cop car starts moving.
Oh my goodness. So this...
He's trying to unlock it with the key.
But it didn't... Yeah, he didn't put it in park. He didn't lock it into gear.
He didn't lock it into gear. And then, thank goodness, he was able to get back in there.
Well, she clearly fucking didn't use that opportunity strikes. You know what I'm saying?
Situation. You see all of the deputies now at the rear, guns drawn.
It doesn't what's going on right now, but
the driver will be able to...
Oh, they're coming in. They're coming in with the units. Wait, XQC's watching this in real time now, I think. Oh, no, there's a delay.
So there's no way, even though that other SUV rolled back.
Oh, they took her out.
Completely blocked up ahead. So you can see there's an arrest team that's kind of making...
They pulled her out. They pulled her out.
Their team together there alongside, as well as a shield So they may try to come up to the vehicle and just try to pull. A lot of struggle going on there, which is a good sign. So it looks like the person is just giving up at this point. So deputies putting the cuffs on her. And so far,
So what? This is what I don't understand though. Like, how do they know that she did not have a
didn't hear of any
gun?
collisions that happened throughout this pursuit, especially with those speeds of 100 miles an hour or more.
That's what's crazy about this.
Upwards of 100 miles per hour, 120 at one point, and plenty of near misses. So yes, now the suspect is on her feet.
What does she
in
got on her
handcuffs.
T-shirt?
We're seeing, as we zoom in, trying to get a better look, but those deputies are now going to cart her off to jail. This all happened at 1:30. And Kevin, do we know? We understand that the vehicle was parked. Was this person stopped by deputies when she stole the cruiser? Do we know?
We don't know. We're hearing that.
It just says security.
The call came out on the radio that deputy said someone jumped into their car. This was out of the city of Compton where this all started. So what we had heard initially was that the deputies called out that somebody was into their car. There was a second patrol unit that was with those deputies, so they were able to start the pursuit right off of the bat. But you can see here that person being taken into custody, kind of wearing a security a shirt that says security on the back. So we will have to later get the backstory on exactly who this is, who this suspect is, and what prompted them to just jump in the vehicle and get started. But so far it doesn't sound like this was on a traffic stop. This was just they were.
Well, they're not gonna.
This person just jumped into the vehicle and took off.
And you're absolutely right about that. Nice observation that the shirt that the suspect has on says security on the back. So we'll work to find out more information about the suspect, how this happened. And to your point too, Kevin, thank goodness there were plenty of near misses, but as far as we saw, no actual accidents as a result of the reckless driving, the dangerous driving, the erratic driving that we all witnessed mainly on the 91 and then on those surface streets with speeds beyond 100 miles per hour.
Cop car being 187 is crazy.
Like we were just talking about, at those speeds, it could have been.
I thought cop cars did have a kill switch. Like, I'm surprised that they don't. I don't really understand how that doesn't work.
I said, luckily, I didn't hear the airship call out any collisions that this pursuit.
His QC is funny, or excuse snake is funny.
Compton and ending up in Anaheim here.
Brother is never getting that force and record. Okay, hey. How about instead of fucking crying about double standards, dude, you fucking work hard to defeat Forsen in the Minecraft speedrunning, which is not going to happen regardless of however many fucking seeds he throws.
No one, as far as we know, injured. That suspect now in custody by LA County Sheriff's deputies. We'll have the very latest coming up for you tonight on the Fox 11 News at 5 o'clock. For now, I'm Marla Taya.
What the fuck? Show the officers a car going backwards. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was a highlight.
Carry on.
Dude, I don't fucking understand. Like, you should definitely, if you're a cop and you get your cop car stolen, which has a fucking shotgun in it in many circumstances, you should definitely get into trouble. You should get into trouble. That's insane. Look at this. So the cop moment is pretty funny. Like this guy fucking forgetting to put it in the park. You lose your cop powers and the criminal becomes a cop now? Yeah, they should let the criminal become the cop. You mean transfer departments? There is no world in which I know, bro, I saw your text message. There's no world in which you can get away with a thing like that. You know what I mean?
And then they're gonna.
No, this guy losing his vehicle, that's pretty funny. It's This is a heat of the moment situation. No, it's not Murad. It's Austin. This is a heat of the moment situation. So it's like not that big of a deal. I mean, it's a massive problem because like she could have literally kept going through this and actually could have like he put other cops' lives in jeopardy. He put people's lives in jeopardy by not doing the right thing and putting the car in park. Okay? She could have just kept going and even plowed through cops, plowed through citizens, you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. He fucked up for sure. He should also get in trouble. But that's a more excusable thing because it's like happening. That it's happening when there is a heat of the moment situation where he thought that he could he thought that he was doing the right thing, immediately going into action, right? Springing into action. But the fucking first cop, like if you're a fucking cop and are you done? Are you leaving? This fucking guy, bro. I swear to God. A lot of trash here.
I wasn't expecting to say hi for a minute. I mean, I wasn't expecting to come on stream and everything, but wow.
Austin just uses my house as a bathroom.
Dude, I was in the neighborhood.
He texted me. He texted me. He's like, I gotta pee.
I just had to pee, and so I just thought I'd come in and say hello and wish Hasan the best of luck on D-Day tomorrow, which is a big day for you. I'm so excited.
Donald Trump is getting arrested.
He's getting arrested, folks. He's getting arrested.
What do you think about? You are our liberal correspondent. First of all, we love crime. We just watched a little bit of crime.
Yeah. I'm very pro-crime.
Well, first and foremost, for the record, I didn't watch crime. I watched XQC react to crime.
Okay.
Because that's the only ethical way of doing it.
Of course.
So that so that I won't get arrested by XQC's police force.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So what sort of lib take do you need?
Well, this part was whatever. It's funny, but Donald Trump is, as you know, getting arrested tomorrow. What do you think about this? Inside Trump's demands for a high-profile surrender, it's kind of a Jesus Christ thing. He passed on an offered low-profile arraignment.
Okay.
Because the Manhattan district attorney didn't want to put himself at risk. He doesn't want to fucking put officers' lives at risk because you don't know. There's bomb threats, all the shit that's going on.
Yep.
Donald Trump personally wanted to make a show of it.
He's such a content god.
That's what I think.
Let me tell you something. This is what I think, and this is going to surprise you. This is my take on the whole situation.
Okay.
This is the most liberal way to get, the most Democrat. This is the most Democrat way this could have happened. Of all the shit that he's attached to, rigging a fucking election, inciting a riot on January 6th, all the fucking heinous shit, he gets indicted for a fucking porn payment or a payment to Stormy Daniels, which in my opinion, did he break the law? Right? Yeah, but it's such fucking even liberals in good conscience to be like, that's some weak shit. You know what I mean? But you know what it does do is it incites his base. It riles up the Republicans.
Damn, so you think this is a misstep by the DA? They should have not prosecuted him.
No. I think that it's just a weak thing to get prosecuted for.
I agree.
I'm not saying that they
but
shouldn't.
It's funny.
It's funny. And
but
it's
the counter
content.
is it's funny and it's great content.
It's great content, but I just think this is the most lib shit because it perpetuates the narrative that people are after Trump and it's the deep state conspiracy and the DA and it's corrupt and they all want to go after him. Why aren't they going after Hillary Clinton and things? If you're gonna get a former president, I think you should get him on some juicy good shit.
Well,
he's gonna get out of this anyway.
Yeah, no, I know.
Get him on some good, juicy shit.
This is my favorite type of person, though. He paid a prostitute and gets in trouble while others had literal sex trafficking tunnels.
Yeah, but okay. But hear me out. Do I love that he's getting indicted? Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. He's a
Me
fucking...
too.
Fuck Trump, right? I love that he's getting indicted. He deserves it. He broke the law. But at the end of the day, it just feeds... It's so, people don't care about this.
All I'm going to say is we don't know if there is more to the charges. Now, knowing what I know about liberals, there probably isn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's just so
like there probably isn't, and they're gonna like try and make this a big deal. You know what I mean? Like a big fucking deal. They're gonna be like, oh, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
yeah, it's the same energy as getting Al Capone on tax evasion charges.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's like, but
so we'll see.
But somebody said there's 20 charges. Is that true?
34.
34. Jesus Christ.
But it's probably all related to the same shit.
Okay. So look, is he going to do? I really don't believe that he's going to do jail time. And he wants the high profile surrender because it's going to rile up his base. This feeds into Trump.
No.
100%.
Exactly. This is what I was saying earlier, which is that like this is a low stakes situation where he can get maximum output out of it.
Yeah.
Like he maximizes on the content, he maximizes on the victimhood narrative, and like ultimately he gets a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Because like these are trumped up charges. Right?
Yeah.
These are trumped up charges.
Yeah.
So, you know, he thinks this is a great content opportunity, and ultimately he won't get into like a really, really terrifying amount of trouble.
That's what I'm that's the most liberal shit you could do. It's the most liberal shit liberals could do. And look, I don't think I'm a liberal as much as I used to be. Are you proud of me? This take is not very liberal.
I mean,
it's actually kind of like a, dare I say, a leftist take.
No, you're more becoming you're more becoming a conservative. I think. You're becoming a Trump supporter.
No, I'm not conservative. I'm not even close to being conservative. Okay. Not even close to being conservative. But do you really think the invasion of Ukraine would have happened if Trump was in office? I'm kidding.
Wait, I mean, hey, who knows?
I'm kidding.
Trump would have been like, Kyiv, it's yours now, Vladimir
he would have
Putin.
let them have it. That's the reason
so technically,
why.
no invasion would have happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get owned, liberals.
Yeah, he would have just had no invasion. He would have just given it to him. Yeah.
He'd have been like, you go ahead.
Yeah. But
Zelensky, you are gay. Bye-bye.
but look. What I can say about Trump is he's a content god, and this is going to be so entertaining tomorrow.
Yeah,
watch it.
We'll see. I mean, my fear is that like he gets Hinckley'd like Ronald Reagan. You know what I mean? Like someone rolls up to him while he's doing the prep walk, and then he like survives it, and then it's over. He's president.
Yeah,
like,
he's president.
Give him the presidency. Like they will impeach Joe Biden the next morning.
Yeah.
And
literally,
then somehow give him like they will find like a 18th century law to fucking
to put him back in the office,
to put back the former president in the office if he like survives a duel or some shit.
No, like look, I think I truly believe this is he's gonna go up in the polls. This is what he needed, right? And guess what? What else he's loving? This is what he's loving. The entire Republican Party, including Ron DeSantis, has to all unify into saying that this is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like everybody has to get behind Trump.
They're so cucked.
Yeah.
They're so cucked to the base. They're so cucked to Trump.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Even Mike Pence, who Trump is completely written off as a coward for certifying the election when he couldn't do anything else.
That's why they were saying hang Mike Pence.
Yeah, he said hang. They said hang Mike Pence. And he's sitting there on CNN doing an exclusive CNN interview, saying how horrible this is. So look, it's I don't know. And by the way, the best part to come out of this is I have a conservative friend that sends me texts every time something happens related to Trump.
Oh yeah,
and this was his text that he sent me the morning. He's very religious too.
His conservative friend.
Yep. I mean, what? All right. He said this, and I quote.
His conservative friend is Ludwig.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
The death of America's rule of law has finally arrived. What an incredibly sad and embarrassing day for this country. May God have mercy on us all. Okay, here's the other thing.
I love that.
This is what he said. Let's see. This is what he said when they were thinking about indicting him. He said,
"May God have mercy on."
Okay, this is the other one. Wait.
He's kind of libbed up.
No, he's no.
I mean, that's like a very libbed up approach, though, because like conservatives are supposed to be like, democracy is over. It's time to take action. Like, you know, we must take matters into our own hands. Like, we got guns for a goddamn reason. Like, that's what you expect conservatives to say in this situation. Like, why the fuck do you have guns?
Yeah.
If you're not going to use them when like democracy is under attack, or your understanding of democracy is under attack.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're all doing the same shit that like Democrats would do in New York.
Yeah.
Everyone is a liberal at the end of the day. That's been my point, and that will forever be my point. Where like all of the most like conservative motherfuckers still turn around and go, "We must vote very hard. We must vote. We must vote like we've never voted before." They're doing bodies in spaces, brother.
Now, the thing is I fucking forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, you're gonna say think it through. Your friend is the conservative guy.
He's
who
a
gives you
conservative
updates.
guy.
He thinks that democracy is dying,
failing, but he's kind of right. I mean, it is kind of falling apart. What's scary to me is the fact that, and I'll say this, conservatives are going back to like an old like 2004 page in their playbook where it's now nothing's working, so it's time to attack LGBTQ folks. So that's what they're going back. I mean, to me, it like they haven't hit it this hard in a few years, and it's not new, but it's an old again. But they're pulling a page out of the playbook. And I'll be honest, I don't think it's. I think it's going to backfire on them, and that may be a lib take. I think it's going to backfire on them. I think it is the wedge
will
issue.
it though? Because ultimately, like, you know what it comes down to. Like, Trump kind of has the primary on lock regardless, right?
Yeah.
But will he lock down the general? That's the real question.
I don't think so.
So does it really technically backfire on him? I don't know. Or backfire on the libs? I don't know.
Like, being gay and because
he lost already. And this is before we even considered the second part of this. That's really unique, really interesting. Trump has so many negatives at this point running for him that no one ever discusses the reality that, like, if he won, he would be a one-term president automatically, which is a huge burden because you don't have the incumbency advantage.
Yep.
Like, and the fact that people don't even fucking talk about that in the Republican Party shows you Trump's personal positioning, how powerful he is within the Republican base for the primaries, and also on top of that, how many other negatives are going for him that they're like worried about a million different issues before they even get to that.
Let me tell you what locks the election for Biden if Trump runs against him. I think Ron would clean house on Biden, but
you think Ron DeSantis would beat Biden?
I really do.
Yeah,
Unless
he might have a better shot. To be
I
honest.
think that the only thing Biden needs to lock the election up is the economy turning around. Interest rates coming down. Americans vote exclusively on the economy. If the economy starts to show signs of recovery and we're out of the worst of it and it starts to trend upwards, things start to be positive, it's a lock for Biden. You think it's copium? All right, hey, who predicted the last election? This guy. I knew Biden was going to win 2 years before it happened. 2 years before it happened, I said Biden's going to win. It's not even going to be close. And it wasn't.
Hammer time is a good take. It's going to hurt in the general, and it's only going to take away a lot of his ability to go around campaigning if they roll out the other suits over time. Just going to keep him locked down in trials the whole time.
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't think Trump will win the general election.
Rhonda has no juice. Ron is 5'6", no fucking shot. When was the last president under 5'6"? Not happening, folks. You know, Michael from Pennsylvania is actually correct on this. Rhonda doesn't have the juice, and he's fucking short. FDR doesn't count because he was in a wheelchair, for the record.
True.
Rhonda is not very tall, yeah. And American presidents have historically always been pretty fucking tall.
So, look, I don't know. Has Ron lost? Is he falling off a little bit?
I mean, the more they give him national attention as like a possible as the possible candidate, the more they do that, the lower his chances get. Like his bona fides go away when he gets on camera because like he's not as sassy and not as like gifted as Donald Trump is. See, yeah, look at that. Trump is up over 50 points in the last Fox News poll. Ron is cooked.
Oh, really?
And Ron is also
God
wishy-washy.
damn. I love polls too.
Here's the issue. He's also wishy-washy. He keeps getting absolutely destroyed by the Trump team. Like, for all of their issues, for how horrible they are in many respects, they do understand how to manipulate their the rest of the Republican Party by flexing the power of their base really well. They made Ron DeSantis, they bullied him into saying something, first of all. Ron DeSantis was staying out of it for 48 hours when the indictment news first came down. So then they started talking about how, like, many are quiet about this injustice and we will remember them. Okay?
Oh, God.
Many are quiet about this injustice that's happening, and we will remember those people who are quiet. Then everyone in the Republican Party immediately started fucking popping off.
What do you bet if Trump gets elected again, he's going to try to remove the clause that says the term limits for presidents?
I mean, he could do whatever the fuck he wants.
He's going to try to do that. That's his immediate thing. They're going to start spinning a narrative that he needs more time to fix America. You think it's impossible? He's going to try. He's going to try. I know maybe he can't, but he's going to try. He's definitely going to try. Can we all agree on that? He's going to try.
I think he's already probably cooking it up.
Guys,
behind
he
the
tried
scenes.
to overthrow a democratically elected official. You don't think he's going to try? They stormed the Capitol.
I mean, anyone that says he will not try is crazy. I will say that.
He's definitely going to try.
Bro, he literally called the Secretary of State in Georgia and said, I need 11,247 votes.
Yeah, of course he's going to try.
A
He's
man that
crazy.
does that is 100% going to try to use like weird old-ass legal precedent to try and eviscerate the fucking term limits.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's going to try. He's going to try to run again for a third term. He wants to. He's a fascist. He's undoubtedly a fascist.
Anyway, hold on. I'm going to grab my food real quick while you give him
more lib takes.
Yeah, give it to him. No, you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. More lib takes. What else do I got? Like I said, I think this is overall, this whole situation is going to backfire on the Democrats and be a good thing for Trump because it centralizes him. He's the top of the news. You don't think so? You disagree? You don't think this is a good thing for him? That's what I'm saying. It's a good thing. But I think it solidifies him. But I haven't been paying attention to the polls. And Mike from PA so eloquently put that he's ahead by 50 points in the Fox News poll.
They have no juice.
Yeah.
No one in the Republican Party has juice.
Well, in the Democrats too. I mean,
No one in the Republican Party has juice. No one in the Democratic Party has juice either, which is fucking crazy. But at least like Donald Trump, or at least Joe Biden is a carcass, but a carcass that's like in office.
Yeah.
So he has the incumbent advantage.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. Okay.
So they'll keep him afloat, even though it is not great that Joseph Robinette Brandon has not made an official declaration on whether he will run again, even though he is kind of doing the run right now without actually openly stating that he's running.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly great when the incumbent president is not openly being like, of course I'm going to run again. And there's like a lot of people thinking about what might happen next.
Do you think Bernie's going to run?
He said he's open to it. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
Dude.
he did a book tour.
Let me tell you something. Bernie, I thought he was old in 2016. And then I looked at a video of him from 1980. Motherfucker hasn't aged a day.
Yeah, no, he's always
He's always been old. He's been old from the day he was born. He's been old.
No, he's been like
for the entire time. He hasn't
he's
aged
been
a
like-
day. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's been like 60 years old since 1998.
Yeah, literally. There's been no change in his age, and I mean that seriously. But look, Joe Biden. You know who we really need, and I'm not joking about this.
Uh-oh.
I truly believe,
and
all of you would get behind this person. I truly believe
Pete Buttigieg.
Michelle Obama.
Oh my God. You're
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. You guys are laughing now, but if Michelle Obama decided to run for president, Michelle Obama who would you rather have, honestly? If you had to choose between Joe Brandon and Michelle Obama.
I hate that the false notion of choice, and that's literally
But if you had to choose,
you're triggering me because that's literally what the Democratic Party does all the time.
But if you had to choose,
where they present to you two shitty choices where you're you have nothing.
Okay, and now this is an even more libbed up take, and I don't think we should do it. But part of me says if Joe Brandon just killed over, if we had to choose between Kamala and Hillary Clinton.
You mean
we got to throw Hillary back?
Killed over? You mean died to natural causes?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
My God, Austin, you couldn't have chosen.
What, is that a bad thing?
The way you worded that is so bad that you might actually get a fucking call from Secret Service.
No. I'm just saying if he died of I'm not. No, look. Oh God, I'm not suggesting that. Please, I would never suggest that. That's not what I meant. They're not going to call me. Come on. I didn't mean. I voted for him twice. Wait, once. God damn it! Now the conservatives are going to think that I'm voter fraud. I'm a mule. Whatever the fuck. I'm not any of those things. Okay, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean any of that. Okay. God damn it. But what I'm saying is, theoretically, if Brandon wasn't able to run for president, that could be an option for us, Hillary Clinton. Do you think I'm going to get a call? You think I'm going to get a call from the Secret Service?
You might.
No.
I mean, in front of 41,000 people, you said if Joe Biden was killed over.
No, if he died or if he just wasn't able to run. That's not what I meant. That was not what I meant. Okay. Look, I'm a registered Democrat, folks.
You did say you're becoming more conservative.
I am in some ways, but most ways not. I could never vote for a Republican. They're way too anti-gay. I can't do it.
Wait, so you're saying if there was a gay Republican who was yeah, cut it with this homophobia bullshit, you'd vote for him?
No. Look, I like to keep an open mind.
Chat's saving you. They're saying you meant keeled over.
Yeah, keeled. That's exactly what I meant. Keeled over. That's exactly what I meant.
It's just weird because you didn't say that.
I didn't mean keeled over. That's what I meant. Keeled. That's absolutely right. Look, I think that this is the problem with politics. It's so partisan. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we all bleed red, white, and blue. We're all Americans.
Yeah, why can't we get the bipartisan support to keel over Joe Biden?
No, that's not. Okay, now you're going to get a call from the Secret Service. Okay, it's not me.
Who's to say I don't have a...
No.
Who's to say that doesn't happen already?
Wait, have you ever got a call from the Secret Service?
No, I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. Look, I just think that one thing I'm excited for is tomorrow. I'm excited for you as your friend. I'm excited for the content. What time you starting tomorrow?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. Now
God,
look,
you are such a lib, dude.
I thought it would be great. Okay, this is out of context. Okay? This is out of context. I would rather have Liz Cheney as House Speaker than whatever the fuck his name is.
Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy. And if the reason I wanted Liz Cheney to be House Speaker is because it would make so many Republicans angry. That's why I wanted Liz Cheney as House Speaker.
It's such a
They would be so angry because she's anti-Trump.
Here's how you're such a lib. Are you ready for this?
That's a good take, isn't it?
It's an impossibility regardless.
Yes.
It was never going to happen. So if you're making stuff up, why the fuck do you go for Liz Cheney? Just be you could literally elect a random person off the street to be House Speaker. Just say Donald Trump would be better.
At this moment, I thought it was possible. In this moment, when I was
thought it was possible for Liz Cheney to become House Speaker.
I thought at the moment somebody said it was a possibility, and I thought it was possible, and that's when I said my timing's off because you were talking about something much more serious, and people were pogoing me and all sorts of stuff. And
there has never been a possibility for that.
Well, you know what? It is what it is. Hasan, I'm going to miss my flight if I don't leave right at this moment.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to stop in. I had to pee, and I have to pee again. But thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, Austin. It was
Great
wonderful
podcast
having
yesterday.
you.
Go check out Fear Hand.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Austin's on his messy bitch arc. All right, bye, Austin. All right, let's get back into it. Here are some Trump supporters crying.
Been struggling with an incurable illness, and in those dark days, fighting. Right now, all the tubes have been removed, and I have a do not resuscitate order, and I have a 7-year-old son. And in those days, in the hospital, I received from you a handwritten letter that said, "To the bravest woman I know."
I remember that. Such a wonderful, beautiful woman.
I wanted to thank you because through you and your organizations, my son, who is Mexican-American, 7 years old, through your organizations, the outpouring of love that came from that ultimately provided my son, when he graduates high school, with a...
Dude, Ken Grant says that there is not a single fucking moment that I believe that Donald Trump actually wrote that letter personally. Also, it is hilarious that, like, it's fucking hilarious that there's, like, Grand Theft Auto playing in the bottom of the screen. Dude, what is happening to America and Americans? What the hell is going on?
a full ride to college.
I'm sorry, I have to go down and say hello. Is that okay?
Aww. God, I love that. Someone immediately said that's a Russian run account. Bro, if this is how Russians are doing election interference, like, you know, let them. You know what I mean? I mean, that's like, if Americans are that fucking stupid that, like, an account like this can possibly constitute for election interference because they're doing Subway Surfer fucking Grand Theft Auto content over emotional Trump moments, we have, and I said this during the time of Russiagate, okay, we have significantly larger issues than a country that has a smaller GDP than our states, some of our fucking states, not even like the good ones, some of the shittier states, compromising anything, like, or constituting a genuine threat. We have way bigger issues than Russia. This one's even better. They're in shambles. Giga Karen.
I am totally shocked at how many idiots there are in this world.
Oh, hell yeah. Pop off.
An indictment is not a conviction, you fucking morons. Oh, for the love of God, I've seen it all. You still have to have a trial. You still have to be found guilty by a panel of your peers. So really, an indictment